Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Bert Kreischer, I love you to death.
Brother, I love you way more than you'll ever love me, and you know that. I told you that last night.
That's a ridiculous thing to say to a person.
You changed my life immeasurably.
You changed mine too. We changed each other's lives. We really did. I just get too much credit. It's all of us. It's like we did it all together. We all did it together. Without good friends, nobody really succeeds because you don't appreciate it if it's just you. It doesn't seem fair. It seems all fucked up.
I keep saying to people, you got to surround yourselves with the motherfuckers. Like
Yes.
you if you're talking about your friends as if you're the top dog, then you're with the wrong dudes. Someone said to
Right.
me, you're always talking like you're not a great comic and your friends are so much better. I go, they are. Look who my fucking friends are. Are you fucking kidding me? Like my friends, I surround myself by people that are way better than me. And then I just listen. Not listen a lot, but
We all rise up together. It's the old expression that the rising tide raises all boats. It really does. It's good for everybody. It's like you want killers running. Like we got into this because we love comedy, and now we're in it. And when you're in it, it's so scary and it's so weird and it's so chaotic, and people are comparing themselves to other people, and it causes all this totally unnecessary conflict.
yeah.
And if you just remember why you got it in the first place, you got it in the first place because you love to watch it. And then you did it, and then you got selfish. And you start thinking about yourself. You start thinking about, I want to kill, and I want to be better, and I want to be the number one
Watching where
person.
other people are in their career.
Mm-hmm.
How come I don't have a 30-minute, half-hour special?
And people get upset with people that they really don't have any conflict with in real life. But in their mind, they associate that person with something negative because they feel bad when they think about them because that person's more successful than them. It
Yeah.
makes them feel bad, so they think that person's bad. It's like a weird, selfish way of thinking about stuff. And every comic used to have that back in the day. Dice was talking about how every comic would fuck every comic over, and they would like do something that would fuck up your set. And he was talking about what he did on Dangerfield's Young Comedian special, and that someone else on the show wanted to wear a leather jacket the day of, a biker jacket, like the same jacket that Dice wears.
Yeah.
And Rodney stopped it. He put the kibosh on it. But the comics would always do that kind of shit to each other.
It was like that when I started. It's not like that. It's way less like that now. Like I feel like the amount of love I've gotten from comics these last couple weeks promoting the movie, the love I've gotten from them has like made me feel good. Like I get really nice texts from people. Even I was telling you, I'm gonna name drop right away. Chappelle was the fucking sweetest guy in the world.
He's the nicest guy of all time.
He was the sweetest guy.
He really
I wanted
is.
to meet that guy. Joe, I wanted to meet him for so long because he's my favorite. He's more, like, out of all the comics when I moved to New York that I could watch, like it was Chappelle the way he did it. It was like watching jazz, right?
Yeah.
And then Attell was like almost like watching the fucking Fish or like The Dead, and you're like, it's not jazz. I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's totally different. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Hedberg was like that. Those are the guys. Geraldo. Those were the Patrice.
Right.
But Chappelle was like the great white. I told him that. I said, you're like a great white shark.
Yeah.
You don't see, like you walk into a room, you're like, oh fuck, and he was like, man, he was very nice. He goes, you've always spoken very nice about me, and I was like, yeah, that's how it works. Like when you're a cool person, people talk good about you.
Yeah. It should be how it works. But you see people even talking shit about him. I've seen people talk shit about him that are comics. It's like, God damn it.
You know what it is? You said it earlier. It's transactional. It's like they think that it's going to help put them over.
Yeah, it's a weird thing that we all do because social interaction is very much like a game sometimes. There's like moves and then there's counter moves and there's like you're trying to like get a better position and it's like a little social wrestling match sometimes.
I've seen people do it like when you're in a room full of famous people, there's a couple types of people. There's people that work the room, and then there's people like me who leave the room because I go, this is overwhelming me.
This is too
weird. I'm gonna get too drunk. I'm gonna say something fucked up.
It's too weird. It's too weird. I know. It's like, God damn. It's weird to be one. It's weird to be around them. You know.
Yeah.
It's like we've all known each other for so long that like we know each other. Whereas like, you know, you meet someone and they're already famous. It's like, how much do they even let you in? You know, like it seems like a weird life.
It's funny. I remember when all the fucking ivermectin shit was going on with you, and Georgia was like sitting at the table, and she's on her phone, and she goes, "Oh my God, do you know this guy?" And I went, "Yeah." She goes, "Really?" I said, "You do too, dummy." She goes, "Who is he?" I go, "The guy with the chickens." She goes, "Oh wait, I like that guy." I went, "Yeah, you're looking at your phone like you feel like," and I think that's what happens is like you look at like a celebrity or someone and you brand them with the thing that you think on the outside. I know I've been guilty of it. I talk shit about people before, just fucking around because you just don't think they'll never hear it.
Right.
Like I'll give you a perfect one. I used to say that I think I could beat up Stylebender. If we were drinking, we had to drink the same amount of beers and then get in the cage. We each had to drink 12 beers and get in the cage. And it was a joke. It was a joke. I was fucking around with Tommy. I never thought I'd meet Stylebender. I never thought that motherfucker rolls up to my show in New Zealand, and first of all, he's way bigger than you think. He's way bigger than you think, okay? And his hands are huge and they're soft. And the first thing he does, Joe, is he grabs my arm to like dap me up, and he throws a knee. And he grabs me by the back of the neck and goes, "You still think you could fuck me up?" And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so." But God. You know what? That guy is the coolest motherfucker. Like the coolest. I mean, he's one of my motherfuckers where I go, he treated everyone as if he wasn't the middleweight champion of the world. He treated him as if he was just some guy that was into comic books and into anime. And he met Jared Hess, the director of Napoleon Dynamite, was at my show. And he geeked out. He was like, "Oh, you did Napoleon Dynamite?" And Jared Hess is going, "This is Israel Adesanya." Like, holy shit. And then Joe, and Izzy, I'm sorry if I talk too much sometimes. We end up at a bar at like 3 in the fucking morning, and I'm faded. I don't know if he was drinking too much at all. I don't even know if he's drinking but we get pretty lit in a bar at 3 in the morning in New Zealand, and he stands up and I stand up with him back to back, shirtless, both of us, and we challenge everyone in the bar to a fist. Oh, you have it. Oh, this is
what are you challenging everyone in the bar?
I'll kill every motherfucker in here for this man. You want it? All day.
Who won it?
Say a word. Say a word.
What are you doing? You're starting fights?
We're challenging a bar to fight.
And this is in another country?
Yeah, this is in another country.
Jesus Christ, Bert.
We were fucking, dude, this motherfucker is the coolest guy in the fucking world. He literally is. He stands up and he goes, who has that?
He's one of the coolest guys that's ever lived.
On his Twitter.
Oh, it's on his Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Look at this.
He stands up and he goes, and his first words out of his mouth, "I'll kill every motherfucker in the room for this man right here." So then, my shirt comes off. I go, I thought we were doing a Steve Harvey bit. You ever seen Steve Harvey talk about his wife?
No.
Oh. It'll make you cry because I know how much you love your wife. His wife's name is Marjorie. I thought Stylebender was doing a Steve Harvey bit because Steve Harvey has this moment where he's doing an award show and he hears a song and he goes, "Ooh, I'm having me a moment." And he goes, "That's our song." And then it's a cool moment. He goes, "She's mine. This is it. This will make you cry, man." I mean, I get emotional watching this.
I just had a moment. And that's me and my wife's song too.
Oh.
I met her 86, 87 when the song came out. Then God gave her back to me in 2005. I put her name on the back, man. You understand me. That's mine right there. Yeah, I own you and you own me. I will kill everybody in here about your ass. Please understand that about the way I love you, Marjorie Elaine. You understand me? I kill everybody in here. I swear to God.
I thought he was doing because he goes, ask the Lord about me. I kill every motherfucker in here.
That's hilarious. So you thought Stylebender was doing that?
Because Leanne sends me Steve Harvey clips, and she had just sent him, and I thought he must have seen the clip. It must be going viral. So I thought he was doing Stylebender, so I go, I kill every motherfucker in this. He's mine, and I'm him. We started going, I thought he was doing Steve Harvey. And
Oh, my God.
And then we start going table to table, Joe. We go table to table challenging motherfuckers. Who wants it? Look at these big dudes behind them, these big Samoan guys. We're like, who wants it? Who wants it?
Bro,
and then
this could have gone horribly wrong.
I was challenging the female tables exclusively.
What if there was rugby players there or something?
He's the middleweight champion of the world. I'm gonna stand my fucking ground.
Oh my God, that's so dangerous.
We ended up buying the whole bar shots
Oh, that's good.
3 times.
Whoa.
Filled them up. Fucking round them up.
Jesus, that must have been a drunk place.
It was. And then he texted me the next morning, like boom, he's out. He's out. I don't think he drinks as much as I do. And that dude, I'll tell you, I'm a ride or die for him. He was the nicest. We sat and talked. We just talked about, like, something really important in life is celebrating. Like celebrating victories. I love the way he does that. I really do. When he has a victory, he goes on like a celebration tour, and I feel like the universe then fucking is set right. Like, Leanne has a phrase. It's called "Earn Your Mondays," right? So like, I'm gonna get emotional telling this because it's a cool fucking thing. It's Earn Your Mondays. It means bust your ass all fucking weekend for us comics. All weekend, and do so well, you earn your Monday. You don't have to pick up the phone. You don't have to do a fucking thing. You can just fucking sit back in the cut and go, I earn my Monday. Like Amy Schumer's movie Trainwreck did really well, right? It's opening week. And that's when Leanne said it the first time. She goes, man, she earned her Monday. I said, what do you mean? She goes, she did press for 2 weeks leading up to this. She's been going theater to theater trying to help sell tickets. And it's done, and it did well. She earned her Monday. And I think it might be in Scientology. Like, it might be a thing in Scientology, but when Izzy earns his Monday, like after that fight, the way he celebrates life for like 2 weeks, he goes out, he's in Miami, he's in New York, he's in Vegas, he's in LA, he's in London. Like, he does a tour.
Yeah.
I said to him, I go, that's really inspirational. Like, or the way that you look at life as it needs to be. He goes, yeah, you got to celebrate. You got to celebrate these moments. I think it's cool as fuck. Wait till you see the fucking bender I'm going on if my movie does well this weekend. You want to talk about...
How could you ramp it up any more than you're already doing it?
Dude, I listen, I'll tell you what, I'm going to rehab. I want someone to chloroform me at the premiere, and I want to wake up a week later. They go, your movie did great, Bert. Your body's clean. You've been hydrated. You slept.
Just keep you on a constant IV.
Dude, I need to say this real quick, and right now, everyone, please go to movie theaters this weekend and see my movie, The Machine. Yeah, please go out of the house. Buy a ticket to a movie theater. That is our biggest challenge, is getting people in movie theaters. So if you love me, or you've ever loved me, you used to love me, you think I'm annoying as fuck now, whatever the fuck it is, just give me a shot. Get out of the house and go see the story that started on this fucking podcast. I would have never told it on stage if this man right here didn't say, you have to tell it on stage. This is your fucking movie. You need to know him as the Machine. From now on, call out his name at shows, make him tell that story. I leaked the trailer on this movie was going to sit on a fucking shelf. Joe, you've done so much for me. Do it for Joe, guys. Do it for Joe.
Do it for me.
Prove that he's the motherfucker.
Well, I just think it's a funny fucking movie, man.
It's a good movie. It's an action.
It's gonna be fun.
It's a big action comedy that needs to be seen on the big screen. And I think people will be surprised at how fun this movie is. It's just fucking fun. And I've been fucking up I was telling you I've been fucking up promotion for it because I'm way too honest. I'm not an actor. Like, I'm just like, they're like, what are the kissing scenes like? And I'm like, rough. We have one kissing scene. I didn't know there was kissing scenes in the movie because I don't read the action when I read the scripts. I just read the dialogue. So I don't read, like, hey, Bert comes back, kisses his wife, and knocks her off her feet. I just go like, oh, Leanne was in Serbia, and they were like, hey, you have a kissing scene today. I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, your wife. And I was like, shut the fuck up. I was like, is that cool? And Leanne's like, yes, you're an actor. I was like, yeah, but I haven't cheated on you in like ever. Like, I haven't kissed someone in 20 fucking years. She was like, it's just acting. And I was like, okay. All I'll say is the pants I was wearing were loose fitting, and I don't wear underwear.
Oh, Bert.
We did one take, and I was like, costume change, please. They're like, what? I was like, I need to change my pants. I guess I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular dude.
Oh, my goodness, Bert.
They're like, huh? And I was like, I don't know. What the fuck are you supposed to do? You're supposed to kiss someone and then just, like, how the fuck does that work? You ever kiss someone?
Your body doesn't know that it's just acting.
No.
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 How could it?
Yeah. I did the first kiss. My wife, Stephanie, is cool as fuck. By the way, I've talked with her, and we've talked about this a number of times. And she goes, we do the first kiss, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, you know. And she's like, hey, you know, really go for it. Like, really go for it. And I was like, for real? She's like, yeah, try to like knock me off my feet. Like, kiss me. So I was like, okay. I'm not thinking about it. I'm like, fucking bam, 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 bam. Walk up. Whoom, and then she kissed back, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? This is different. Holy shit. And then I'm like, costume change. I need tape. Like, someone get me ice.
Are you allowed to talk about that?
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to say, here, ask me what the kissing scene was like.
What was the kissing scene like?
You know, it was good. I would say it's just acting. It's just acting. It's what we do as actors. Okay.
Which is true.
Yeah, well, it is for some people, but it's also a fucking hardcore lie. It's also why Brad Pitt fucked Angelina Jolie. It's because you make out with her a couple times, you're like, that was fucking nice. I wonder what it's like. And then you're laying in bed going, and Jennifer Aniston's texting, you're like, pass. Like fucking Leanne, we did the kissing scene all day. All day I kissed this woman for like 30 minutes, 35 minutes, kissed her. Like, got comfortable kissing her. And then we got in bed in Serbia, and Leanne's like, hey, you want to do it? I was like, beat it, scissor lips. I was like, I'll come back to you when I need to.
Oh, how rude.
My wife's got a good sense of humor.
I hope so.
Yeah. The whole movie in general was like, I ripped my fucking arm, I blew my arm out, but...
What is it like to have a story get turned into a movie? That's got to be weird as fuck. Like a story that, like, you kind of have to tell now. Like,
Yeah.
if you do a show and you don't tell the machine story, people will get angry at you.
But they did it last time I was here.
Yeah.
We were up here, and they started chanting the machine. And I was like, guys, I'm at the Comedy Mothership. I'm just at an hour 15. And that was the best. That was that's the coolest thing about that goddamn club, is I see fucking Ron up in the top, and I go, I'll tell the machine if Ron comes down and tells Tater Salad. And the place is like, Ron White's here? And Ron's like, fuck it, I'm coming down. Ron White comes on stage, tells Tater Salad. I go to tell the machine and realize I can't follow Tater Salad. The best story ever told. So it's surreal having your life turned into a movie. It's surreal. Like, it is, like, it was emotional at times, and then it's weird because I feel very vulnerable, you know, like, because some of the questions people ask, they're like, they put teeth in it. They're like, so you rob people, and you're like, okay.
Jesus Christ.
So you approve of what the mafia does? You're like into the mafia, and I'm like, hey man, can we not make it surreal? Like, you're keeping your eyes open while we kiss. Let's fucking just make it regular, like Good Morning America.
So they got upset with the premise?
They were just like they read half of it, and then they're like, so you're in the mafia? And you're like, no, it's a little more complex. But no, but you like got welcomed into the mafia, and you're like, yeah, like kind of. It's better when you hear the whole story. I think I tell it a little different. And they're like, and you robbed your friends. Are they cool with you now? And I'm like, yeah. Some of them are coming to the premiere. Like, fucking Jesus Christ. Can we move to the next subject? I don't believe in vaccines.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's been interesting. It's been fun. I'll tell you what's been really fun is finding out just how wide this story has reached. Like I didn't expect certain people to be like fans of mine. Like, and I know that sounds like bad, but like you're always like when you look at your audiences, my audience kind of looks like the same one thing. Guys that have chicks that are hotter than they deserve. They all have beards. They're all a little overweight. Like that's my fan base. I literally go, hey man, I can tell you the sponsors I can get for my tour. Lipitor would be a good sponsor. Some blood pressure medicine, some beard trimmers. Not Lipitor. I know we're talking about statins, but like I know my fan base, and then you get like dudes who are like, I fucking love you, and like Big Boy from Big Boy's Neighborhood. I was like, you know who I am? He was like, yeah, why wouldn't I? I was like, I don't know, I just didn't think, like Nori from Drink Champs. He's like, dude, I'm the best. He goes, I told my wife, we got my favorite comedian coming on, and she's like, you mean the big fat white guy that takes his shirt off? And you're like, wait, when you're younger, you try so hard to appeal to all demographics. Almost like it's like fake. And then once you're yourself, you're truly yourself, that's when you appeal, that's when you're the most appealing. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Yeah, because it's hard to do. It's hard to do publicly.
Yeah.
It's hard to be, yourself publicly.
And especially when you're promoting a movie about yourself, to be yourself publicly, you start understanding like Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh my God, for sure.
You start going like, yeah, I don't want to, like Secret Time, this will air, it'll be fine. The premiere's tomorrow. I'm flying back tonight for the premiere. The premiere list is fucking thick. It's fucking thick. It's like it's my algorithm. It's Snoop Dogg, porn stars, and fucking radio DJs. a couple pro surfers. Like it's my algorithm, my watch dealer. So like Mark Hamill was like, "Are you gonna stay and watch the movie?" And I was like, "Are we not supposed to?" He was like, "I'm not gonna watch myself on screen." And I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "Oh, are you being serious?" He's like, you're going to sit in front of 750 people and watch yourself? And I was like, hey, Mark, Secret Time, I'm going to cry watching myself. I'm going to cry and I'm going to mouth my lines. I did that when we did the first testing of the movie. They sat me in the front row. I had 2 bottles of wine. I sat with Leanne. I had a notebook. I was supposed to write things in for notes. The movie starts and I start bawling, crying. And I start mouthing my lines. I'm laughing hysterically. I'm like, I loved watching me more than a narcissist would ever. Like, it was like the craziest thing. So we go to the next screening, and Kale, our producer, pulls me aside and he goes, I'm going to ask you to sit in the back. I said, what? And he goes, it kind of affect the way people watch the movie. So what do you mean? He goes, I don't know, you're up there fucking crying like it's Cape Fear but gay. He goes, fucking sit in the back. So next time I sat in the back, but I get emotional watching the movie because I feel like I'm watching a highlight reel. Like I remember doing all these things and now they're all cut cool. And so I was like, I don't know, I guess, I don't know. I think I'll watch the movie. I guess I would. But Mark's not going to watch it, Secret Time.
Well, that's not very secret. And I get both perspectives. Like you made it. Why? It seems weird that he would he's trying to enforce that on you.
No, he was like, you're cool with that? Like I've heard a few people like there are people like, do you listen to your own podcast?
No.
Okay, I can throw on an
but I might if it's it's a Huberman podcast or one of those ones where I'm going to try to implement whatever they're talking about.
Yeah.
So maybe with those I would listen to it again just to try to remember.
Yeah.
And write shit down, because he gives you so many different beneficial things. It's like you have to kind of go back and write them down and try to keep track of them.
Like there's certain people who can listen to their own like I can throw on an old Two Bears from during the pandemic, and I will it'll it's like a warm blanket. I go, I remember that day. I remember that. It's fun. So I'm gonna sit and watch myself in the movie theater. I want to see 750 people.
Why not?
Yeah, right.
Why
Here's
not?
my
It's
can I
your
tell
movie,
dude.
It's just weird that people would think that that's weird. It's like, of course you want to see your movie.
Yeah, well,
you want to see people see your movie too.
They said to me, when are you getting to the red carpet? And I said, well, the movie starts at 7, the red carpet opens at 3, so maybe 2:30. And they're like, wait, what do you mean? I go, it's a premiere of my movie. I want to be on the red carpet as long as I can. And they're like, no, you need to show up at 6 o'clock, and then you're the last one on. And I wait, I'm gonna miss all the people? I thought I'd be hey, welcome to the red carpet. You know, like, it's so good to
Right.
see you. Oh shit, give them a hug and see people. And they're like, no, you're in a movie now. You need to be like, and I was like, oh, that's not how I'm gonna do it. So I changed the red carpet. I changed it.
Really?
Yeah, I fucking just changed it. I was like, that's not how we're doing it. We're doing it like Waste Management. It's a fucking party. People are drinking beers. Fans have access. Let's fucking throw back. And I'm gonna be here the whole time. I'm gonna fucking host it. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm a fucking party. If Snoop Dogg comes walking down the red carpet, you don't think I'm gonna run over and take a picture with him? Come on. You know me, Joe. I'm not like a
Play it cool guy.
I'm not a play it cool guy. I don't know
Yeah.
how to play it cool. I do it the way I do it. I like it. You only get one run at this fucking life.
Yeah, also, like, fuck playing it cool.
Dude.
Like, just be whoever you are.
Do you know what it was? I've been trying to work this as a little bit, but I can't. I had a weird morning. No shade on anybody. I had a weird morning where I worked out with Arnold Schwarzenegger and I ran into Edward Norton at breakfast within an hour, like in Santa Monica. It was really crazy. Now, I watched two arguably movie stars, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Edward Norton, interact in public. Edward Norton's cool as fuck. He's Dude, Fight Club, one of my favorite movies ever. The one where he plays the guy with the two accents. That's fucking, he's an awesome dude. But when I recognized him and I gave him energy, like when I recognized him, you just see him just be like, yeah, okay, cool. Like just kind of like, oh, yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he gets recognized, he matches your energy. He gives you the thing you want, the moment you want. When he comes up on TV and people go, I met Arnold Schwarzenegger. They go, how was he? Not one well, I'm sure there's people that say bad things, but like everyone I met, when I watched him interact with people, fucking loved him. He was the coolest dude. He was, you know what he was, Joe? He was like a movie star. He was like he brought the like 1980s, hey, it's good to see you. Hey, Bert, come here. Let me tell you. I'm bad at accents, but he's like,
Can I just tell you, I think with some sensitive people, I think your happy, fun guy energy sometimes throws people off.
you could be
And they're
there,
like,
right?
I gotta get out of here. Because you're like, oh my God, it's fucking Ed Norton.
I went like this, Joe. I went, oh!
Yeah,
started
exactly.
clapping.
Like, dude, that guy can't handle that.
Poor guy was like, and I tagged him in
He's a
Instagram.
really nice guy.
He's
I had him on the podcast. He's really
Wait,
interesting.
for real?
Yeah.
Dude, he's my Hulk.
He's the best Hulk.
He's the best Hulk.
The best Hulk.
He's the best Hulk.
Yeah, he's the best Hulk.
Dude, that movie where he does the dude with two accents, you know the movie
But
I'm
that Mark
talking about?
Ruffalo Hulk is pretty fucking good too. Pretty fucking good.
I wouldn't mind, yeah.
It's a fucking toss-up, dude. It's a toss-up. In
Edward,
the
Ed Norton's
Avengers,
my guy. When Leanne dumped me, I watched Fight Club on repeat over and over and over and over again. When they play the Pixies at the end of the fucking movie, Where Is My Mind? And he's sitting, and the buildings are crumbling.
Yeah.
Ed Norton's my motherfucker. He's a dude. I love that guy. But you're right. My energy might have fucking freaked him out. I freaked out Tom Cruise real
he
bad.
probably freaked people out, man. You probably freak people out. You got a lot going on. There's a lot happening. It's all positive, but it's
Yeah.
like for some people, it's like there's too much sensory input here.
Yeah.
I gotta get out of here.
Leanne says I cast a large wake.
That's a good way of putting it. That's a healthy way of putting it.
Yeah. It was really tough doing the movie because everyone was fucking Eastern European. And my sense of humor is not Eastern European.
Did they understand?
No.
No.
They thought the words, I guess, I'm not an expert, but the words in the Slavic language or whatever they speak in Serbia to explain me, the words they use are like unpredictable, explosive. Like I think those are the words that you would use that personality, and they're also like there was a scene in the movie with my co-star that is, in order to do it, she had to be put into like a cast, and like she couldn't move, and she wasn't comfortable doing it with me because the words to describe me are he's unpredictable. You don't know what he's going to do. I think in English we have. I just think this is a horrible thing to say, but I think our language is more slangy, so we get things a little easier. I know when I was in Russia, they didn't have a lot of slangs. Like that wasn't their thing because in a communist government, you want to make sure your words mean what you say.
Right.
So they don't like. That's why it's funny when I said I was the machine, because it's like the craziest thing you'd say to someone. You're a car, and then you're like, yeah, And then he's a car. He's a machine. He's the machine. Like, it was just funny that I would say that because slangs aren't their thing. So she didn't want to do the scene with me.
Oh, isn't that, doesn't that mean car in Russian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ya machina.
La machina, right.
And I just walked in the door and said, I'm a car.
That's in John Wick 2.
Yeah, I think it might
when
be.
He calls the dude up, says, you have la machina. You have my car. Remember? That's the scene where he's got the fucking 69 Mustang.
Dude, let me tell you something. Keanu Reeves, that's the motherfucker. After you do an action scene and then you watch John Wick, you're like, that's learning the ballet. Like, that guy, those things he does in that movie, they are. I would argue, it would be cool. Someone like you who's into martial arts and knows how to use his body. I'd be interested to see you go. That would be a cool thing to see you do one of the John Wick sequences. Like, does that interest you at all? Those like badass sequences that he does,
like movies. Is that what you're saying?
No. Just for to fun. Like, we go out and we shoot with Taryn. And like we learn the John Wick guns and stuff.
Right.
If they had a class where you could just go, hey man, for like this week we're going to teach you a John Wick sequence just to see if you could learn it, because it's really
very complex.
A very simple fight scene. I punched like 3 dudes on our movie because I get overexcited and I just would punch them, but they were like cage fighters, so they're like, I don't give a fuck, just hit me. I'd rather you hit me than it not look good.
Right.
But what John Wick does, I couldn't do that. It's like somersaults and sliding your leg underneath people's legs to leverage them.
Especially in the first movie.
Look at this.
In John Wick 1, that scene where he goes through the disco, the Red Circle Club. Mm-hmm. That fucking scene is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, but here's what's weird about it. Look, I love that movie.
Yeah.
But why? It's the sexy assassin that you root for. The whole thing's like, have we forgiven his past where he worked for the Russian mob and killed how many fucking people that didn't deserve to be killed? Like, he was the guy you sent in to kill people. It's the weirdest sort of hero that's ever existed.
So,
because it's so satisfying because they killed his puppy.
Dude,
I
thought you were going to say that. That's why we like him, is because his dog. His dog.
Bro, it's one of the fucking greatest scenes
you stole
ever
my car.
In a movie that sets up what the movie is about. When the Russian guy is talking to his son and he punches his son and he said, "What? I stole a fucking car." And he punches his son in the stomach. And then he pops open the liquor. And he goes, "My son, it's not what you did. It's who you did it to."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Who? That fucking nobody?" And he just goes, "That fucking nobody is John Wick."
John Wick.
It's one of the greatest fucking scenes ever
wait.
to
Can you play
set
audio
up how the movie's going to set up.
It's a nice jacket. Thanks. Yeah.
Like in this scene, you're going, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Should I go?
Нет.
Нет.
Есть еще вопрос, который надо обсудить.
Figo, English, please, come on.
Stay, goddammit!
What did I do?
Я френулся по полной.
We did what you asked. No one saw shit.
I'm not talking about Atlantic City, you know?
What the? You mean Aurelio's? So I stole a fucking car.
Oh.
Right, you stay.
It's not what you did, son, that angers me so. It's who you did it to.
Who? The fucking nobody?
That fucking nobody is John Wick.
Dude, what a cool fucking scene.
What a fucking cool scene.
Look at this. Oh, fucking
now
look
you
at this.
realize the sexy
My movie's not this good, Joe. It's not this good.
The sexy assassin. You just
Look at his body.
You just awoken the sexy assassin.
My movie might be the exact opposite of this.
This is fucking. The scene gets even better. You get the whole thing is like when they explain who John Wick is.
Keanu's that dude.
That fucking movie was so fun. But it's like, why is that fun? Why do you root for him? Why are you rooting for this guy to just kill everybody over his dog?
Yeah.
It's like just to get to this one guy to get the revenge.
That guy is the same guy from Game of Thrones.
Yes.
He plays a bad guy
Yes.
so good.
Yes, he does. The Game of Thrones character. Oh my god.
That I may have a hard time ever seeing him as anything else than the guy that ate his dick on Game of Thrones. Spoiler alert. Were you a Game of Thrones guy?
Loved it.
Dude, were you a House of Dragons guy?
I love both.
Me too.
Yeah, they're great.
I love that.
They're both great.
Yeah. Oh, they're so fun.
They're both really good. I mean, it's just, you can't fault it. It's super solid. I think it takes a long time to make one of those, though.
Dude.
You know, that has got to be like, Game of Thrones it must be like one of the most complex shows to ever choreograph and film the CGI. And it's a movie. You're making a movie every week.
Yeah. Man, the woman that plays Cersei in that is so beautiful. She's just like, I mean, one is just a stunning. I've gone to her like Googled her name. I forget her name, but I've Googled her and just looked at pictures of her. And she's got a little space between her teeth. Man, quit with the fucking fixing what you think is your flaw. Flaws are so fucking sexy. Flaws are. Leanne fixed one of her flaws, and I fucking hate it. She had a little hole, like a dilated pore hole right here on her cheek, and I loved it. I fucking loved it. It made her look unique. I loved it. And a little crooked tooth. Oh, whoa. Stop talking about my wife. Holy shit.
Jesus, Bert.
Lena Headey.
Jesus, keep it together, Bert. Yes, beautiful lady.
She was in.
Hell of
she was
an
in
actress.
fucking 300.
That's right.
She is.
300 was the shit.
Yeah, I'm not one of those. Like I'm not. I couldn't do other people's movies. I just want to be a movie star. I want to do Fat Astronauts. If this movie does well, hey guys, if The Machine does well this weekend, we're getting a green light on Fat Astronauts Monday.
Well, I think it's gonna do awesome.
I hope it does. I hope
It
people
looks fun. Everybody's gonna love it. It's gonna be a good time.
go out to the movie theaters. Everybody, go to themachine.movie, get your tickets, and go enjoy the movies this weekend.
How many movie theaters got hit real hard because of the pandemic?
Must
Must be most of them, right?
Yeah, what really sucks are the mom and pop ones. Like, so there's
Right.
the mom and pop ones usually in like Asian communities that do Asian films. You know, like I know there's one in Korea. I just read an article about that is fighting to stay around because it's in Little Korea or Koreatown. And it just does, and it's a mom and pop. Like their concession stand looks like you're at a concession stand, like at a ballpark, like a little league ballpark. And I think those are the ones that took the big hits because they do have high rents because they're big spaces, but they don't have a company behind them to support them.
Right, that makes sense.
Kevin Smith just bought the movie theater that he used to go to as a kid.
Oh, really? What's that?
Fuck! I don't listen well.
He said it. It was in Jersey, right?
It's in Jersey.
It used to be a 2-screen, now it's a 5-screen. I heard him say something.
We're gonna do a screening of The Machine out there. I think this coming month.
Kevin Smith was one of the first guys to figure out to do. He like had a theater to do his podcast in. Remember?
We just did a Two Bears, me and Kevin. Like he was a guest bear, and
Guess bear.
and he walked me through it, and it's funny to hear him talk about podcasting and what he was doing, because then I it's almost like, imagine if our two timelines were like this, but he was doing it like 10 years before that, like doing theaters, doing his podcast, doing that, and then all of a sudden he's like, and then Corolla got his podcast. I'm like, wait, hold on, you were doing theaters and stuff, and he was talking about the money they were getting at those times. Was like he was doing it for free at colleges and didn't know you could get paid to do it.
No kidding.
Yeah, Kevin Smith, man. He goes, what? Because he's like complimenting me that I was doing well. He goes, what's the secret? And I go, the secret is watch what Kevin Smith did 10 years ago and start doing it today. He's a badass dude.
He's a very cool guy.
Him and that group changed cinema forever. I mean, they created that whole independent filmmaking in like 95, 97 or something?
Well, they certainly were a big part of it. You know, independent filmmaking has always been real interesting because every now and then there's a great fucking movie that you just don't hear about.
Yeah.
Because someone made it on a shoestring budget and they pieced it together with their uncle's money. And
did you ever see the movie Run Lola Run?
no.
Joe.
What's it about, Bert?
It's about a fucking chick who just runs.
Just all day?
She's got to get from point A to point B to like save her boyfriend or something. And she gets a phone call. Hang on. This is, so wait. Play it from the beginning so we can see what the thing is. That's it, really. Okay. Every second of every day, you make a choice that can change your life.
Okay.
And she has to get from point A to point B, and she runs the whole way there. But stuff happened in between, and it's, oh yeah, her husband's robbing someone, I guess. It's a foreign film that you literally are like on the edge of your seats. It's a fucking one of those movies where you're like, small budget, just fucking good. Like,
yeah, they exist. Just probably hard to publicize them, probably hard to find. But, you know, then there's also small budget movies that are terrible that are awesome, too. Like
the one with Franco?
Like, really bad movies are fucking amazing because if they're not trying to be funny, but they are funny.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, what was the one? The Room?
The Room.
Yeah.
The one James Franco and Seth Rogen remade.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, how crazy bad does a movie have to be where people make a movie about your movie, about how bad it was?
Yeah.
But that can happen. Those are great, too. I love me a bad movie. I really do. There's some of them are just so enjoyable.
Oh, fuck yeah. I love the, what was the movie I used to love growing up that I was like, it's just, like Clueless.
How about Roadhouse?
Oh, dude.
Roadhouse is one of the best bad movies of all time.
He grips his throat out of his neck by the river. It's the fucking...
It's so goofy.
Blade, right boot.
Everything is awesome about it. Everything. Pain don't hurt. Everything is awesome.
He
about
walks
it.
around with his own record transcripts of his injuries. Wow, you've been
he's
cut
had
up.
So many fucking injuries. He brings a folder with him.
He brings a
everywhere.
folder with him. She's fucking hot.
She's hot as fuck.
That's
so the doctor falls in love with the sexy bouncer. It's fucking amazingly stupid movie. And Patrick Swayze's so beautiful. He's so beautiful.
Wait, they're remaking it with Conor McGregor. You know that?
Yeah. Yes. And Jake Gyllenhaal. Look at this fucking stupid movie.
Chicken dick.
Chicken dick.
Me? That it, Dalton?
Look at his hands.
Fight me? Big bad Dalton. What do you want, to kiss and make up? Jesus Christ.
Every group had one fat guy that was like their tough guy.
Yeah. I mean, they're all stabbing each other and shit.
Oh, it cuts him.
Oh my god, this is so stupid. It just, everything looked kind of corny and fake. Like, compare that to like an action scene in a really good movie.
Oh, yeah.
Especially now. I think people don't tolerate this kind of like obviously choreographed fake violence anymore.
Carry him up his
It just
jacket.
looks a little too corny.
Yeah.
But back then, it didn't seem corny.
It was amazing what didn't seem corny.
It was good back then. Like there's so many movies that when we were kids, we're like, this is a great movie. And you watch it now, you're like, Jesus, this movie sucks. This movie sucks. Because you think they're so good. Because the culture has evolved. It's moved into like a new direction.
Oh, it's done that with comedy too. Like the comedies that we like.
Yeah.
You watch them now, and they're like horrifically racist. Like,
so many of them are like fucking. We were talking about Ace Ventura. He's crazy transphobic.
Dan Marino throws up because he made out with a dude.
The whole fucking thing
They
is like
see the dick,
it's so crazy.
And there is a complete. This is where trans people should spend their time getting rid of that fucking movie because they see the dick in the back of the pants and they all throw up.
And it's Sean Young, who's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
One of these?
Tone Loc.
Boy, that's really on there.
This scene is so crazy.
Yeah, this is great.
The scene is like he just rips her shirt apart. Imagine that scene today.
To get rid of big old Mr. Kanish.
She's in her bra and panties.
In her bra and panties. He's ripping her clothes off in front of everybody.
Yeah.
In a comedy. And she's just standing there for some strange reason.
Look, Dan Marino. Look at Dan Marino.
Excuse me for just 1 second.
She's dazed like a cartoon character would
Like,
be.
like frozen in a video game, right?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
She's seeing birds and stuff.
my
Like-
esteemed colleague, Mr. Marino, has just brought some new evidence to my attention. Now, history has certainly shown that even the most intuitive criminal investigator can be wrong from time to time. But if I am mistaken, if the lieutenant is indeed a woman, as she claims to be, then, my friend, she is suffering from the worst case of hemorrhoids I have ever seen! That's why Roger Bedactor is dead!
The tuck.
Mr. Winky. Look, they're all
throwing up.
They're all throwing up.
Everyone's throwing
Everyone's
up.
throwing up.
Everyone.
He's cleaning
Tone
his tongue with dolphin.
The dolphin's freaking
throwing up.
out. This is a crazy scene.
Oh,
That's how much culture's changed.
that culture. That's
how much
that's in my
culture's
lifetime.
changed. Yes, that's in our lifetimes.
This is 94.
Yeah, 94, man. 94.
I mean, we were watching with the girls one time, 16 Candles. Do you remember that movie? Molly Ringwald.
Yes.
In it, they have the donger, Long Duck Dong. You remember the Asian guy?
Yes.
And all, oh, sexy girlfriend. I mean, he got in trouble. I think woke culture actually came after him for doing, I think, what they call yellow face, of like acting up the Asian guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then they go to the party. Jake's girlfriend, my girls are watching this. Jake's girlfriend passes out. She's too drunk, and he gives her to the nerds. You guys take her for the night. Have fun with her. Here's my dad's car. Anthony Michael Hall fucks her. He fucks her that night. She's drunk. She doesn't remember it. They don't remember it. They fuck that. And that's one of the plot lines. The section is Jake's a senior in high school. She's 16. Like, it's so problematic that my daughters couldn't enjoy it. And I go, just fucking let go of it. Like, just watch the fucking thing. And they're like, Dad, the girl's drunk. Someone should help her. They cut her hair. And you're like, oh, yeah, that doesn't look cool.
Yeah, it's weird what people used to think was acceptable before it was depicted in the media.
Revenge of the Nerds. The dude rapes her. He puts on her boyfriend's clothing and rapes her. Rapes her.
I don't remember that.
At the end, she's like in a bounce house with the lights off.
She's
right?
in a bounce house. He grabs. They're at the talent fair. He grabs the mask, her boyfriend's mask, the girl he's attracted to, puts it on, and he pretends to be Darth Vader. He pretends to be her. He follows her into the crazy with all the mirrors. They land on the bounce house. She's like, take the mask off, and he's like, no, I'm gonna leave it on. And then he fucks her. She doesn't know it's him. He fucks her, and then they get done, and he takes the mask off. She goes, that was you? And he's like, yeah. She's like, it was so good. So that's just if we're gonna play by the rules, let's play by the rules, okay? That groomed every child to see that if you could sneaky fuck a chick but you did it good, if you could rape her but you did it good, then look. You don't remember this? No, leave it on.
I don't know if that's
Wow.
That's fucked up.
What year was that?
It's got to be 84.
sounds right. This is the 80s. don't see a year right here. I don't know.
That was like, I mean, don't even start with Porky's.
Well, let's say the same time period.
Yeah. That was like, and that was greenlit by executives. That's a good scene.
84 is correct.
Good fucking scene.
1984. That's how much the world's changed. That's crazy.
Insane. And you're just talking about fight scenes, but we're talking social commentary that's out there.
Yeah, we're just talking about like the way things are depicted in life.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could never do that in a comedy now. Imagine if someone tried to recreate that.
We at one point in making the movie, I said to I said it to no one so no one ever gets in trouble because I know that what I do is not what the studio's like, right? When I talk, I just talk to you honestly because I don't know the fucking thing you're supposed to say. I said we fucked up to someone. I said we fucked up. We should have had nudity in this movie. Like we definitely should have had nudity. Like that was a fucking because all the great old school comedies had one gratuitous nude scene.
Right.
You know, Back to School. Rodney Dangerfield opens the fucking curtain and the girl with the most beautiful body shower and he goes, "Hey, excuse me," and then closes him and he goes, "Ah," and then opens it again. It's a great fucking scene in the movie, right?
Right.
I go, we fucked up, and they're like, I go, "Can we ask some of these chicks to like get naked?" And they're like, "That's definitely not." And I was like, "Well, how did it work when you made movies back in the day?" And they're like, "Well, back then it's different. We're not going to just walk around and go, 'Hey, does anyone want to take their top off for this scene?'" And you're like, "Oh yeah, I guess you can't." Like you just, and it's a weird thing. It's like.
It's just weird how much culture has shifted so quickly.
Yeah.
Like relatively quickly. Because I don't think that before mass media, social media, it was mass media first and then social media. Till people, the more and more communication about the way people act and behave. You used to just have films that depicted all sorts of shit like that and people just accepted it. So, like, was that a part of normal society back then? Like, at what point? Like, we got to think about how few generations removed we are from barbarians. Like, really horrific people. 3,000 years, 4,000 years? Like, how far back do you have to go to where life is just hell? It's not that many thousands of years,
I got to
right?
be honest with you, I think 1700s.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about loss of freedom and free will, you look at World War I. World War I was a barbaric fucking trench war.
Yeah.
Was that the trench war? Yeah, it was trench warfare, and that was like kids. And then World War II was a generation of kids that felt like they didn't go to war, so they got bummed out. They're like, I wanted to go to war like my dad, not knowing what war was. And now we're at a place where you're like, okay, only the savages go. Like us soft boys, I could not. I'm not a Jocko. I'm not a Green Beret.
I don't know if I agree with that.
What do you mean?
About World War II.
World War II, no, it's 100% accurate. The German generation feels like that was what brought about World War II, was a whole generation of kids feeling like we need a war. We didn't get a war.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you watch the beginning of All Quiet on the Western Front, I don't know if you saw that new movie.
I did.
Watch it not with the subtitles. That's the beginning. That's still World War I, but all those kids are just mad that they're not going to maybe go. The war's ending, and they're like, fuck, we're not going to get to fight. We're not going to get to fight. It's kind of like what Jarhead is like, even in the Marines.
Yeah.
He's so mad he doesn't get to shoot his gun.
God, how crazy are people?
I mean, World War II
Imagine getting upset that you don't get a chance to go to war.
Okay.
Imagine,
yeah, but no, we can say that.
I know.
But that's ingrained in our head. How crazy is that? My grandfather was the exact opposite. Yeah. Can you imagine if we'd stayed here? Can you imagine if we didn't go? And that was my grandfather. Right. That's just right there. And then came back, the worst shell shock you could ever fucking imagine. Stormed the beaches of Normandy. Jesus. The question is, and I never found this out, what day? Because I think the real bad one was that first day when they go, and then I think they made some advancements. And I don't know much about history. I listen to history podcasts, but I don't really pay attention. But it put me to sleep.
Well, that's a good one to think about, because Jesus fucking Christ, is that a crazy story in human history? Dude. The idea of people just running at people with guns. People with guns running at people with guns. Like,
the idea that
so insane.
Just loss of free will, that someone would go, and you couldn't be like, no, my name's Bert, and I haven't fallen in love yet.
Right.
And I want to live my life.
Right.
I'm going to stay here. I don't want to go in there because people are dying, and I see people dying.
Right. And why are we here? well, I don't know why I'm here. If I'm 18 years old, do you think I truly grasp why I'm here?
Yeah.
Do you think I truly understand what manipulation has been put into place that allowed giant groups of men with guns to run at other giant groups of men with guns? Like, what is the real problem?
They talked about, so in World War II, there was one Christmas where the German soldiers started singing American Christmas carols on Christmas. And Silent Night, I think. And then the Americans started singing with them, and then they had this obviously, remember, I'm Bert. I'm not a fucking historian, so don't light me up on this. But, like, this is how I heard it. And in that moment, they had a ceasefire. The soldiers had a ceasefire, and it sent the fucking colonels through the roof because they're like, whoa, 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 we're losing fucking control. And they said any person seen not fighting or seen extending, like, they had to get letters from one side to another side from the fucking people that were kept in camps, right? Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. I'm so sorry. I talk out of my ass. I don't know what I'm saying, but it is true. The truce of 1914. It was World War I.
Wow.
And then they said, all right, here's the deal. Anyone seen trying to fucking have a truce? You get killed. We kill you. Because we need you to kill them.
What a crazy thing to do and then go back to killing each other. Didn't they have truces, too, to play soccer games? Didn't they do that as well?
I think that was a Sylvester Stallone movie.
No, I think that really happened. I think see what the fuck that is.
Well, it's showing up as the same when I type it in. I typed in World War I soccer truce and it shows up as the Christmas truce. So maybe they had.
Oh, so maybe during
soccer,
that. Okay, that's what.
Yeah, they did a soccer game during that.
Okay,
during
that makes sense. Imagine you just go right back to killing each other.
Those wars befuddle me. Like the idea that America would, and I understand, but America would just get involved. You know, I like.
Well, it's all weird, man, because you don't know the full story unless you got to delve into it, read all accounts by all parties, pro and con. You got to really sort through it to figure out what's propaganda and what's real.
I got really into World War II for a period of time, both the Pacific and the European. I guess they're called theaters or whatever. I'm obsessed with Winston Churchill. He's just a
fascinating man.
Fucking fascinating man.
Dude, I gotta pee so bad.
Go pee.
Let's pause this for a brief moment.
Yeah, of course.
Sure. Yes, sir.
All right, that was World War II. Now, fucking.
You know what my favorite ceasefire is?
What?
During World War I, they had a ceasefire with was it the Russians and who was it? I think it was the Russians and the Germans. They had a ceasefire, and it was because of wolves. So many people were getting killed by wolves.
I've heard you talk about this.
Yeah, what were the two groups? I always fuck this up. I know one group was the Russians.
Yeah, Russians and Germans.
Russians and Germans, right. So they had a ceasefire because so many of their soldiers were getting killed by wolves.
That's and that's so funny. I tried to joke last night about what's wrong with Germans is they don't have any predators.
Well, they did back then. They did at least
then.
when they tried going into Russia. But could you imagine you have an enemy that's invading you and you agree, we need to bond together and kill this other enemy that is not human.
I think that's a plot
and then we go back to killing each other.
It's a plot of Predator.
It is. Kind of. I mean, this is such a crazy story. Parties of Russians and German scouts met recently and were hotly engaged in a skirmish when a large pack of wolves dashed on the scene and attacked the wounded.
Have you ever seen the video of the cop going to give a parking ticket and the fucking 50 wolves run down the street?
I don't think that's real.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I don't think that's real.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Jamie? Russian cop is going to give a parking ticket, and then he gets in their car and the wolves run by them?
Jamie will find out if it's real. I think someone told me that was CGI.
Ah.
Oh, speaking of CGI, well, I don't want to change all of our stuff, but
I don't know if it is CGI though. I really want to find out.
The Roswell UFO thing from last week. Did you see that?
Oh, the Jeremy Corbell thing?
I didn't see Jeremy Corbell post it, but I saw a post of like 5 videos all showing this fucking object in the sky.
Yeah, this is over a military base.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, like 50 people filmed this thing. So this is the Russian one. So watch.
Oh, that bums me out.
The cops is over here. He's talking, and then these wolves are running by. I don't know if that's real, man.
Looks pretty real.
It looks very real.
The only way. So
Look at all
what?
the shadows. Shadows are perfect.
Yeah.
What they maybe? Yeah. Wow.
If they do a time lapse of.
Yeah, there's just 2 videos they put over each other, like those wolves did run down that street. But not at the time those cars were there.
Right.
Oh wait. I see what you're saying. So go back to him getting in the car. Are there? No, the wolves are there.
Oh, he's reacting to them.
Yeah.
But that could be an actor.
I don't know.
They're not reacting to the cars, is what I'm saying.
Right,
See?
but the wolves are just running, right? If they're not used to being around cars, but the cars are reacting to them, that car pulls over to the left to avoid the wolves.
Yeah, I think that's real, man.
Watch how the car reacts.
Here's the other thing I'm looking at. This is the last. That'll be hard to fake. Is the headlights from this car should be giving an extra shadow on these wolves coming this way, and it looks like it's only from the street light.
Interesting.
See, there's no shadow coming this way,
Interesting.
which means that those cars weren't there when the wolves were there.
Maybe, sorta, depending
Maybe,
upon where
yeah,
the
but it's like,
beams
yeah, I
hit,
don't know.
right?
It would be an interesting. I mean, it would be an interesting person that spent their time doing that.
Yes, a forensic person
Like who's
analyzing.
Yeah, like, I went to Reddit and did a Reddit AMA.
Yeah.
I've never been on Reddit. Reddit's like a fucking rattlesnake to me. I don't hate it, but I don't get near it. I respect it. I just don't want to fucking get bit. Because I hear like Mark Norman lives on Reddit. Like he'll tell you stuff going on with you that you didn't know. He did it last night. He was like, "Hey, did you hear the thing?" And I'm like, "Hey man, you can't talk to me about that stuff. I don't watch that stuff." But I went into Reddit and I thought it was going to be all like QAnon people.
Right.
It's regular human beings. Just regular human beings. Beautiful women. Hey,
It's a trap, Bert. It's a trap. They're going to suck you in. They're going to suck you in. You're going to be there every day, and then they're going to go after you.
Are those things?
You want one of these?
I'll be addicted immediately.
Oh, okay.
I'll be
Don't do it
addicted
then.
immediately.
I like these.
Unless it'll help me quit drinking, and then I'll fucking do it in a heartbeat.
You know, there's a lot of evidence that nicotine is actually good for you. which
That's
is
what
really
Andrew
weird.
Huberman said. Smoking
Yeah.
is the best thing you can do for your life.
No.
Andrew
no.
Huberman said, "Here, isolate this."
No,
I'm kidding.
No. Not
Dude,
smoking.
have you ever
not
been in a
smoking,
fucking blimp?
Nicotine.
Isn't that looks like the thing I saw in the video?
So just so we're clear,
Oh,
what
you talking about the thing that was in the plane video, Jamie?
No.
Which video?
There's like this is one of them, I think.
Well, let me tell you
It's
something.
that thing.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was in like a post I saw today. It showed this in 5 different videos. And they said it was last week in Roswell. It's just sitting there. It doesn't move.
Yeah, that totally could be a balloon.
well,
But
it
do
looks
they
like
just
it.
keep going higher and higher? Don't they just keep going higher and higher? Why would it be
should.
hovering?
Yeah, I don't know why it was just sitting there.
Well, or maybe they don't have enough helium. Do they only reach a certain threshold?
Yeah, like when you're
a
at-
Mylar one.
You're at the end of a Mylar balloon. It just hangs out like it's a person in your room.
This video that Mick posted says this is supposed to be to monitor pollution.
Oh.
But it also
Why would you make a giant silver thing
don't know.
that looks like a UFO to monitor pollution? How about make it look like a pollution monitoring device?
Have you ever
fuckheads?
seen? I'm sure you have, but have you ever seen Elon's rockets re-enter the atmosphere?
Yes, I have.
So I had never. This is a while ago. This is back like I was when we were in our old house, and I remember I was talking to Tom on the phone, and Isla's outside, and she's like, "Dad, Dad, Dad," and I go out, and it is so different than anything you've ever seen. That I go, Tommy, look at the fucking sky. Look at the fucking sky. He's like, what? I go outside. He goes outside, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, we thought we were getting invaded by aliens. For a second, 2 grown men thought we were getting invaded by aliens. It looks so fucking bizarre. Like it does like a mushroom cloud and then a streak. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Oh, type in Elon's rockets re-entering the atmosphere.
Well, I've seen it on video, but I haven't seen it in real life.
In
You
real
saw
life,
it in real life.
I saw it in real life. It was in the sky over L.A. Like must be coming to Long Beach or something. And it looked so. This is what it looks like. It's this crazy fucking atmospheric change, and it looks like you're getting invaded by aliens.
I did see one time in L.A. I was driving.
Look at that, Joe. That's what we saw. I go, Tommy, go outside. He goes outside. He's like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, Isla's like, are we getting invaded by aliens? It looks fucking crazy.
What year was this?
It was like 17 or 18. It happened
Yeah.
two or three times. I remember.
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
happened one time. I feel like I saw, but it was before that. There was I was in Hollywood and I saw this thing streaking across the sky. I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
But this was like, I think it was pre-social media days.
Oh no, this was Instagram days, Instagram stories. Because as I was talking to Tommy, I put on Instagram stories and I recorded it. It didn't record our audio, which I thought would be a viral fucking clip. Because both Tom and I thought we were getting invaded by aliens. And I'm watching it, but it is, Joe. It is like.
It's pretty freaky to see.
It's
something
freaky
like that.
as shit.
Imagine if you did see something like that and it was aliens. Do you know how wild that day would be? Do you know the day of like 3 football field size ships just penetrate into the Los Angeles atmosphere and start hovering over the city? Just alerting us to their presence. And just saying, enough is enough. Let's fucking sort this out.
What's the first thing?
Fuckheads.
What's the first thing that is going on in our cultural, like...
Money, politics. Take money out of politics. Take it all out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nobody
There's
can
no money.
donate.
Yeah. There's no money. No. Yeah.
Nobody can donate. You can't profit.
You just need leaders. You need leaders now.
You need leaders.
That's like what? How do things shake down? You need leaders. What else goes away? Like bars stay open.
Bars stay open.
Bars stay
freedom.
open.
You got to give people freedom because if you keep taking away freedom, eventually it's going to come for the things that you hold dear. That's just a thing that happens, and everybody wants less. You got to control people more and do this. It's not good. We're always going to have problems. There's never going to be a perfect state where hundreds of millions of human beings get along and completely harmonious, unless we all do mushrooms.
I'm just saying, your new hour is selling mushrooms pretty fucking good. Could you come out with your own mushroom?
I don't think that's legal.
It is.
And I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it definitely
lion's
is.
mane. I take the lion's mane, Bert Kreischer.
Is lion's mane good?
Lion's mane. Oh yeah, lion's mane.
I've taken lion's mane, but that's like a regular.
Listen, there's a lot of benefit to mushrooms. Cordyceps mushrooms are fantastic. Those are really good. That's a big part of that Shroom Tech supplement that Onnit makes. There's lion's mane is great for you. It's great. There's a bunch of really neuroprotective aspects of certain mushrooms and nutrients. There's a lot of good stuff you can take, and mushrooms are in that group, including psilocybin.
Mushrooms are legal in Colorado?
I think everything is legal in Portland or in Oregon. Oregon is the first state that decriminalized everything. They decriminalized, literally, cocaine, heroin.
Oregon.
Everything. And I think they did it in Vancouver, too. But listen to this. This one dude opened up a store.
Oh, you can sell coke in Vancouver.
Well, this guy, he opened up a store called the Drugs Store. And it just tells you when it was tested. This is tested, April 23rd. And it's, you just buy cocaine.
You can buy cocaine. Someone just told me about that.
What the fuck? This mobile Vancouver store, good move, bro, just started illegally selling cocaine, heroin, and meth. Meth. Bro, imagine selling meth. I mean, that's that's bad for you, right? Who the fuck wants people to be doing meth? If you're selling meth, you're profiting off of terrible decision making, right? Agreed.
I've heard a couple of people have some good meth stories.
Really?
I have.
But
One of our friends.
Good stories when the night is over.
We have a friend. I won't say his name here, and I'll never say it.
Okay.
And we were all about to hang out.
Can I guess? Can I guess who it is? Okay.
Okay, yeah. And if you guess it right, I'll tell you.
Okay.
We were all hanging out. We were all about to go hang out again. And he was telling me and Joey, okay, it's not Joey Diaz. He was telling me and Joey Diaz a story about this chick. And he was like, I can't even say.
Okay, let's not. You're going to get somebody in trouble, aren't you?
But no, this is a long time ago. This is fucking 12 years ago.
I understand.
And he was like, I did meth last night. And Joey's like, what the fuck? He goes, I know. I was trying to fuck this chick. And
she pulled out meth?
And he was like,
Wow. That's right. I remember that story.
You know who it is?
Yeah. I remember that story. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wild decision to make. You're alone with a person you just met who wants to do meth with you. How all in on this life experience are you?
Joey goes, "Did you fuck her?" And he goes, "We did meth, Joey. We definitely fucked."
Oh my God. But don't they say that Adderall is like very similar chemically? It's very similar.
Oh, it's very, dude.
It's like it's a type of amphetamine, right? So if you went bonkers with Adderall, if you had some dude who could just give you all the Adderall you need, like some homie that works at the Adderall factory, and he sells you a barrel of these fucking things. If you just chewed them all day long, like you would just be like a person doing meth, right?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, and I apologize if this comes out weird, but I think that's what Mulaney said in his special was that Adderall was one of his problems too.
Yeah, I think
Adderall.
happens.
Adderall is. I mean, I've done both. I've done Adderall, I've done Ritalin, and I've done Coke. Coke is way more fun than the other two, but the other two I actually enjoy more. Like it's like if you take an Adderall, your diet. You don't want to eat. You feel fuck. You have the focus to skin a grape. I mean, you could fucking focus.
Damn.
Dude,
making it sound exciting.
Adderall's the shit. I remember taking an Adderall and just sitting down and writing a script and just being like, boom.
Back in the day, all the top pool players would take amphetamines.
Darts, same, bro.
Darts, same thing.
Same. Darts is like a big fucking speed place.
I shouldn't say all the top pool players, but in all honesty, a lot of them.
And I shouldn't say darts because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
This was a long ass time ago, like in the 70s and shit. There's some great books that were written about those days. But these guys would play for 24 hours, 48 hours. They'd stay up for days just taking pills and gambling until one guy goes broke or one guy quits. They didn't want people quitting on anybody, so the thing is, like, if you're up ahead, so like if you and I were gambling and you're ahead of me and you have all of my money and you and I want to keep gambling until I'm completely broke, you're like obliged to drain the person. You're obliged to like carry it out to the bitter end because maybe that guy might claw his way back. And then 18 hours later, now you're breaking even. Like, oh my God. But he wants to keep playing. So you got to go into the bathroom and take pills and you come out, fucking jacked up with huge pupils. And you're just gambling for days like that. There was a lot of those guys. Wild fellas. Wild human beings, man.
They deliver, man. Those pills and Coke, they deliver.
I bet they do.
They give you what it's like. You know what Coke's like? Coke's like the first time you had unprotected sex, and you were like, "Whoa, fuck." Coke's like that. Coke's like that.
I believe you. No one's disputing it either.
No one. No one.
Just keep the fuck away from it.
Some people will tell you, "Yeah, I don't like drinking. It makes me tired." Like Dice last night, he's like, "What do you have?" And I said, "Buffalo Trace." He goes, "Man, I have one of those. I'm asleep." No one's ever like that on Coke.
That's what I hear.
Same with,
seem like a move.
Same with the fucking Zins. Everyone's that. If I had money, I'd invest in that fucking company.
It's according to Huberman, it's a good way to get nicotine, and nicotine does have like neuroprotective benefits. So, like there's a bunch of cool shit about nicotine. The problem is cigarettes. The problem is tobacco when you smoke it and it gets into your lungs.
Dip is the best. I miss dip.
You like dip?
I loved dip.
I like a good cigar. I really do enjoy a good cigar.
Oh, I love cigars.
You want one right now?
I want one right fucking now.
Let's have one right now, my man.
Let's have one right fucking now.
Hold, please.
Look at that humidor.
Baby.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're taking
Joe Rogan.
a very brief cigar break.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
This is a good fucking cigar.
Yeah, these are good, right?
Who is this? The same guys that were
Foundation. Yeah, Foundation cigars. They're the shit. Yeah, this is a special one that he made just for us. It's really good. And Bobby Kelly liked it, which is like, hey, if that guy likes it. Bobby actually knows cigars. He's one of those guys that, like, he could tell you, like, I can't tell you shit about cigars.
It's pretty simple. There's only like a couple wraps.
Right.
And there's the sizes are what make it a tad bit complicated. I'm a big ring gauge fan.
Yeah.
I grew up in Florida,
Like,
so
like a fat boy.
oh yeah,
Yeah, those are nice.
those I like a big ring
Kind of
gauge.
smoother, right?
The draw, I think the draw is a little easier. But these are beautiful fucking cigars. This is a Maduro wrapper, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I like a nice heavy cigar.
Yeah, it's perfect for me. I love it. It's really good.
Yeah,
That's just cool. It's cool.
Yeah, man.
I like it.
I can't believe you're my fucking friend.
I can't believe you're my friend.
No, but I'm way luckier.
Dude, you keep saying that. We're all fucking lucky, man. We're all lucky, 100%. It's all symbiotic.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, you enjoy all of it more when you have friends that are also doing it.
It's cool.
That's a big part of what's going on.
I called Joey Diaz the other day.
Joey Diaz.
I hadn't talked to him in a while.
Joey Diaz lit the place on fire when he was in town.
I bet.
It was so fun to watch. It was really exciting just to have him around again. And you should see him light up when he saw the sign in the green room that says, "Get it together, bitch."
Yeah.
I go, that's your quote, Joey.
My
He
daughters
always used to say that to us.
My daughters are working on Fully Loaded again this year. And they go, "Is Uncle Joey coming?" Because they only really know him as an uncle, for real.
Right.
And I go, "No, I don't think so." And Georgia goes, "Hold on. We got to see him one more time, Dad. Like, Isla needs to see him live. Isla needs to see him live." Because Georgia toured with him. Georgia knows him as uncle. And he would, Joey, he would say the wildest fucking shit.
Yeah.
Fuck cancel culture. You can't trust a ... with a whistle.
Right.
And Georgia's blown away. And Georgia's super woke, right? And she goes, "Can you get him to come to Forest Hills?" That's where we're opening Fully Loaded in New York, at Forest Hills at the tennis arena. Mm-hmm. And it's a fucking thick list. She goes, "Can you get Uncle Joey to go?" Dad, please. Isla's got to watch Uncle Joey. So I called him the other night to talk about it, and then we ended up changing. Joey's quick. "What's up, Tarzan? ... Yeah. All right, yeah, hey, keep killing it. I'm proud of you, cocksucker." And then he hangs up, and you're like, "Fuck, I forgot to ask him what I was going to ask him." But yeah, we're going to try to get Joey to come out to that. Gillis is on it.
It's just always great to get Joey around people who love him too. It's just he needs that comic energy.
Yeah, he does.
He does. He needs that comic energy.
There's a part of Joey.
Everybody loves him everywhere though. That's the thing about where he's set up. Like when we saw him in New Jersey, we're like, God, he's never moving out of here. He's the king of New Jersey.
He loves it, man. He fucking loves towns
it.
are built for certain people, or certain people are built for towns.
Yeah, well, he's got a great place.
And Joey was never built for L.A.
No.
He was built for Jersey. He knows the guy that makes sandwiches down the street. Mm-hmm. He goes in. Joey does. It's interesting. A little high because Joey's weed's pretty fucking aggressive.
It's aggressive, right?
It is fucking. It's the most sought after weed in all of LA.
It'll convince you that something's happening to your body.
Don't do that, dude.
But
don't tell me your thoughts.
That's the kind of weed. No, I'm not saying my thoughts. I'm just saying
but now I go, what's going on in my body?
But it's kind of one of those like, what's going on in my foot? It's weird.
Is my toe numb?
Why does my toe hurt like that? That feels weird.
I smoked some of Joey's weed. I'm gonna come home and I'm like,
It'll make you uncomfortable.
I'm sitting there. And I'm sitting in my man cave, or my gym is my man cave now, my gym, and I'm on the computer, and I just feel a little like saliva in my cheek right here, like right there, and I go, "Oh, that's crazy." Like I just noticed it. I go, "That's crazy," and then it shows back up. I go, "Am I having a stroke?"
Oh, Jesus.
And I go, "Oh my God, is this side of my face?" And now I'm sitting high as fuck in a mirror, smiling to myself to make sure I'm not having a stroke.
Oh
Joey's weed will fucking throw you sideways. Here's the thing I was gonna say, before comedy was around, guys like Joey Diaz, Joey could walk away from comedy and find what he does on stage in society. That's the way Joey operates. And I think that's why he loves Jersey. He goes in, sees this deli guy, and they chop it up for like 20 minutes. And then Joey did like a tight 5, right? Like that personality is authentically a New York, Jersey personality.
Right, but what Joey can do on stage is so unique.
Oh, damn it.
And when he gets rolling, it's so unique that I feel like no matter what else he does, at this stage of his life, like, it's so hard to get to be that funny.
Yeah.
Why would you stop doing that?
His new book, Tremendous, is out on Amazon.
You can't stop doing that. He's too good. He's too good. He's too fun. He's too fun to be around.
Dude, he would be...
He was so fun when he was in town, just hanging out in the green room He was so fun.
The part I miss about Joey the most is when just hanging with him.
Yeah.
And when he wasn't trying to be funny, and he was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
One of the hardest he's ever made me laugh is we're sitting there. I made him say it again on a podcast that made me laugh so hard. We're sitting at Maria C. We're having I was doing a cleanse where I was having green tea, and he was having coffee, and he was smoking cigarettes back then. He was smoking them on the DL. No one knew. Don't tell nobody. And I go, Joey, what was prison like? And he just very casually goes, dog, if you think black guys allowed in a movie theater.
That's such a Joey Diaz line.
But he wasn't trying to be funny. It was just being Joey.
That's him.
And I go, Joey, is that a bit? And he was like, no, I'm telling you, dog. Up all night, Ray. Joey's just the fucking purest. I sometimes I repeat stories. Have you ever heard a story about our polar plunge Christmas Eve with his daughter Mercy?
I believe so.
It's the best. That's that bloodline.
Joey.
That's that bloodline.
He's a beautiful person. I love him to death. He's one of the best guys ever. And, just if I could just get him to come around every now and again, I'm good. So that's what we're going to try to do. I just told him anytime. Just you tell me, I'll take care of everything.
Yeah.
I'll have somebody pick you up. I'll have somebody drop you off. I'll have someone drive you around. I'll fly you out. I'll take care of you. Like, come on out anytime you want. Just you tell me. And then we'll put the machine in motion. Not the machine, but a machine.
Put the machine in motion. I'll come down too.
We'll send the actual machine to escort you to the mothership.
I said that to him when we did Full Alert. I said, whatever you need, I got you.
He's the best.
You do that sometimes, like when that's the problem with these businesses and managers and agents is like, it's like, you go, they misspeak for you. Mm-hmm. And you're like even like back in the day, trying to get Joey on Fully Loaded, and it just was not happening. I go, hold on. I called Joey. I go, hey man, whatever you want, whatever the fuck you want. I love you. Whatever you want.
Right.
And he's like, oh, for real? And I'm like, yeah. Don't listen to anyone talking about my team. Just trust me. I got you. Because like I know I get like that. Like certain things will spook me, and I go, yeah, I don't want to fucking do that. And then managers, agents love having something, a little fulcrum to leverage you against something else, and then. And we were talking about that last night. Just little fulcrums to like, and then can I get this guy in there too? Okay, then you can also have this guy. And you're like, what the fuck? How did that happen? It was like I told two people to their face. I told Chappelle. I'm bad with secrets, and I just met Dave, so I'm not gonna say any of his secrets. Like I'm bad with secrets. I don't even know that I tell people secrets.
Is that a part of drinking?
No, it's part of me wanting to please you.
Oh, yeah. Now we're going deep.
I'm in therapy.
Now we're going deep.
I have a lot of problems, and one of these is I want everyone to be happy, so I overshare, and I guess it's good.
So it's fun.
It's fun. It makes good comedy.
Yes, it does.
My wife was in the back of Little Boy last night, being like, "Yo, definitely can't talk about Isla like that."
Right.
I was like, "For real?" She's like, "No." Tell a story about Isla in. Never mind. What am I doing? I'll do it again.
Don't do it.
And so yeah, I overshare, but it's like, I don't know.
But that's interesting. It's like, do you feel like you have to?
Yeah, I feel like I'm not good enough.
No.
Is why I love Tommy so much, and why I look up to him in so many ways, is that Tommy knows he's good enough. Tommy knows his worth.
What's the difference between you and Tommy? Why do you think that he knows his worth and you don't seem to know your worth, even though there's so much evidence? There's so much evidence that you're loved.
Yeah.
So how would that not be enough?
I don't think.
Do you think about it that way, or is that not it? Am I missing it?
No, I think it's. We had very different dads. Mm-hmm. And I think Tom, for whatever reason, and I think we're both really close with our dads. We're both really. We're really close with his dad. I think his dad just raised him a different way, and I think my dad raised me a different way. And I think whatever my dad did, it left me with a little bit of a hole, and no slight to my dad, but it left me with a little bit of a hole that turned me into a performer. To make sure, like my dad would be like, if like the Iraq War started, and I said this is fucking stupid. And my dad goes, go to your fucking room. You're a fucking idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. He's like, "Can you stay up there until you figure out what's wrong with you?" And then I'm sitting up there going like, I gotta get out of my room. I'm 16 at the time. I'm like, I gotta get out of my room. Why am I a fucking idiot? Why am I a fucking idiot? I don't. And then I was like, okay. I was forced to sit with it, and I was like, I don't know anything about why we're going to war with Iraq. I don't know anything about war. I've never been to war. My dad, okay, I'm gonna go down and I talked to my dad about it. My dad's like, this is why you're an idiot. Tell me why you think I don't know anything about this war. He goes, yeah, Saddam Hussein is gassing his own people because they're a different religion, a different ethnicity. And he goes, and so we came to protect half of that fucking country. Here's the other thing that's cool. This is the first war we're getting to watch start on TV. We're watching a war start like a fucking Super Bowl. So sit down with me and let's watch the fucking war. And I was like, wait, we're watching a war? He was like, yeah, it's on CNN. Watch this. And you remember the fucking Iraq war with like the first, when we were kids, you were probably like 18. And then they just like B to B, and you'd watch a fucking Tomahawk missile head in, and you're watching people walk into the fucking Capitol in night vision, and I'm like, oh, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
that was my dad, I can't speak for Tommy, but I know Tommy was really close with his dad, and I think his dad, for lack of better words, I hope this comes off respectful to my dad, was a little bit more of a man. His dad, no, my dad ran track. My dad's a man, trust me. My dad's a man, but Tom's dad fought in Vietnam. Tom's dad did a fucking couple tours. Tom's dad was a champion power lifter. Like, I think we had different dads. My dad ran track. He didn't go to the works. He had allergies. You know, they wouldn't let him in the Vietnam War. And so like,
let him in?
Yeah, he didn't pass the physical.
Wow.
Yeah, he had allergies.
Jesus.
And like, they're like, we can't send you in there. And all of a sudden you shut down because you have hay fever.
Oh, right.
Like then you're just like, in the middle of a fucking.
Dude, that war is the scariest war to me because it's
Vietnam?
because it's the most nonsensical. It was started off of a false flag. No one felt strongly about going over there to die.
No
one felt strongly about the cause. It seemed insane to everybody, and it went on for years. I remember when it ended because I was a kid.
Do you really?
I was living in San Francisco, and I remember thinking naively that this is great because now there's never going to be war again. I really remember that thought. I guess I was like 10 or something like that, 10 or 11. It was just weird. It was a weird thing to just imagine that they forced people into go fight in some war that nobody understood and that might have been connected to heroin. Might have been connected to heroin.
Have you been to Vietnam?
No, I have not. Dude. People love it over there. Bert Bourdain is like it was his favorite place.
It'll change your cultural DNA. Like the way you see the world's never the same. I'd say the same about Japan, though. Japan's pretty fucking dope.
Pretty dope.
Japan's like it shouldn't be legal. Like you just weird shit like robot fuck shows and then all of a sudden you go to the subway and no one's speaking. They're all holding hands. And they're like, I passed out on a Japanese dude in a subway. I was drunk. I passed out on this poor guy, and he didn't do anything. He just let me sleep on him. I woke up. He was just like, hi.
Yeah, they have a very respectful culture in terms of like the way people walk down the street.
Yeah.
People give people plenty of space. They seem to navigate it much more easily. But then like you see in some cultures, they just kind of, there's so many people that just kind of bump into each other. Like apparently in China, that's a thing.
Oh, in Vietnam, it's I made the analogy in Japan. It's like no one touches each other. In Vietnam, they got their fingers in your mouth.
Oh, geez.
Like no, not really, but like figuratively, like it's really aggressive. I drove a motorcycle through traffic in Vietnam, and it was thrilling and terrifying.
Really?
Because it's almost like New York, but New York on fucking steroids. Because you got to like, you don't pay attention to who's behind you, you just pay attention to who's in front of you, and you're almost racing everyone. It was fucking crazy. I drove old Russian Ural through the streets of Vietnam. The same motorcycle I had when, I think it was the same motorcycle we had out at the farm stay when you called me.
Yeah. Right. That was fucking, what a great call.
What a great fucking call.
I'm gonna
write a book. I'm gonna write a book out of like top 10 things Joe Rogan said to me.
But every now and then I get one like,
look at this.
Right.
This is Vietnam.
I know, I've seen this. This is insanity. Imagine being a motorcycle with a kid on your back.
A kid? Dude, they got their whole family on the back of that thing.
It's so insane.
Look at, everyone's got 2 people. Some people have 3 and 4 people.
Yo, it's so
Look,
insane.
there's 3 people right there. That's 4 people.
So insane.
2 people in boxes on that one.
But
Yeah.
don't you think people just kind of get used to that, though? Like, I think people get accustomed to almost anything. Like,
Yeah.
we're accustomed to driving cars now. That shit has only been around for 100 years. It's so weird. So weird driving around in a fucking car everywhere. It's only been around for a short amount of time. And we're just so accustomed to it. It's just normal.
When you
We're on
think
the
about
highway,
when you
normal.
think about like taking horses across the country,
Right.
have you ridden a horse lately?
No, fuck horses. You know how gangster those people? Not fuck horses. Like I don't love horses. Let me be clear. Fuck. I want to rephrase. I say bad things sometimes. I don't mean to. Fuck me riding a horse.
Okay. Oh, I thought you meant
That's
fuck,
what I meant.
Fuck horses.
Fuck horses. Like fuck horses. I'm not getting on horses. Not fuck them. I think they're beautiful, amazing creatures. You know what I'm really kind of sad about, honestly?
What?
That there's a lot of wild horses in this country, and they're trying to figure out what to do with them, and they might wind up killing them.
No.
Yeah, they might want. I mean, I think there's people that are proposing, like, getting rid of a certain amount of them. I don't know what they do with them now. Like how do they handle wild horses now? But there was this argument like that they just can't let them get to a point where where there's no predators for wild horses, and they just start overwhelming the population in some of these areas. And like there's cattle that graze in these areas, and the horse and the cattle compete for food. And
Dude.
But there's a lot of wild horses in this country. It's kind of a sad animal to be wild. It's like wild dogs.
No, it's beautiful. I was in Crow territory up in either South Dakota or Montana, and we were driving motorcycles for Travel Channel, and we took a helicopter. We hunted a buffalo with the Crow Nation, shot the buffalo, processed it. Then they take us back and they put us on our motorcycles and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna meet up at the bottom. Everyone's gonna have a drink." And I'm on my motorcycle. I did not have a drink in me, and the sun's setting, and we're driving through the hills, like the fucking hills. And as I'm listening to Wilco in my headsets, with my helmet on a fucking Indian judge, I think it was a judge, whatever the fucking judge was. A fucking pack of wild horses starts running next to me, and I'm like, and no one's around, no cameras, no film, just me, Wilco, and fucking 7 horses at a full fucking sprint, keeping up with me on the motorcycle. The sun's setting, and I'm just thinking, motherfucker, no one's gonna believe this. No one's gonna ever see this. It's just your moment you have in life. Wild horses are fucking beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, no, I should rephrase what I'm saying. I don't think. Here's my thought on it. Like, what? I don't want them to be killed like other animals. I don't want them to be. It's weird. I don't want people to hunt wild horses.
Oh no!
Right.
No,
so you can't. The best way to control populations is either you send someone out to kill them, or you let people hunt them. And for all the other animals, like the deer species and elk and stuff, they let people hunt them, and that's how they keep populations in check. But with this one, it's like you can't. I don't. You know, like who wants to go out and shoot dogs? Nobody.
Do they do that?
No, but I mean, no.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I guess they probably do with wild. Well, wild dogs are a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think an elderly man got killed recently by wild dogs in like Georgia or something.
Oh, dude, that down
Which
south
is really scary.
Down south, you can still get attacked by dogs.
Yeah.
I went for a jog in Alabama. My wife's family lives. I went for a jog in Georgia, Alabama, and a dog chased me. Like you just forget people don't have fences everywhere there.
Right.
Their dog heard me jogging down the street from their porch and started running at me, and I just thought at some point it'll stop.
Right.
I jumped up onto a Baptist church, like they have the foundation with the cross and the name, praise Jesus, ... I jumped up and I had to standing up there as this dog just stood there and barked at me. And I'm in running shorts, headsets, and I'm just sitting there waiting for the dog to get done. And we sat there for 30 fucking minutes. The dog sat for a second, and then I'm like, oh my God. Like, is anyone going to fucking help me?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And you just sit there. I think people forget just how fragile we are as animals, we are versus other animals.
Some people are just dopey and irresponsible and just let their dog run around. That's a common thing too. But the thing about these wild dogs is once you've got a population of wild dogs breeding in the woods, you basically got something that's kind of like a wolf.
Very much.
It's kind of like a small shitty.
Look
little-
at this.
Oh my God!
Fuck off.
He fought for his life against 3 large dogs.
What
oh
the
my God! This
fuck?
guy got torn
2
apart.
pit bulls and a German Shepherd.
Jesus fucking
And they were all on the
Christ.
same team?
He said they kept attacking me for like 15 minutes. Roll that down. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was actually it. Oh my God! 3 dogs. 2 of them were pit bulls. The third one was a German Shepherd. One with a German Shepherd. One of them attacked me. When it did, it triggered the other 2, and they joined in. They were attacking me from all sides. I was trying to keep them away from the inside of my legs where the femoral arteries are and away from my neck. I had
guy's
nothing
smart.
with me to fend them off. I was desperately grabbing sticks to hit them, but the sticks were decayed and kept falling apart. They kept attacking me for what seemed like 15 minutes. I was physically and mentally exhausted. I was trying to figure out what to do. I considered falling on the ground or rolling up in a ball and playing dead like you're supposed to do with bears. I considered screaming for help, but I knew no one would hear me. My 4-wheeler and my cell phone were 150 yards away, and I knew I would never make it there. I finally remembered that there's a tree stand nearby the adjoining property. I found a good stick, and I was able to keep the dogs at a distance until I could get to that stand and climb up on it. In the stand, Scott was able to catch his breath, get his heart rate down, and get the first good look at his wounds. He was in bad shape. He had punctures and lacerations of both arms and both hands, and from his waist down to his ankles. He needs medical attention immediately. I sat in the stand for about 30 minutes after the dogs left. He said, when I got down, they heard me rustling. They heard the rustling of the leaves under my boots. They came running back in. So Scott rushed back into the tree stand and waited another 30 minutes after the dogs left. This time he purposely made a lot of noise to see if the dogs would return. They did not. He decided to head in the opposite direction away from his 4-wheeler and where the dogs had come from. I found a good stick, and I quietly tiptoed to a fence line that was about 60 yards away. I climbed over the fence and then hiked about a half a mile through a cow pasture out to the highway. I didn't know the story was going to be so long, ladies and gentlemen. I'm apologizing. I apologize. I feel like I'm so fucking... This guy got fucked up by dogs. The end. So
298 puncture wounds and lacerations.
Yeah.
A lot of stitches to fix them up.
So I guess he got out. A couple guys alone in a pickup truck drove around me. Yeah. Okay. There it is. So he got help.
No rabies.
That's why. Okay, let's go. Let's work this into this bit.
They
This is
took
why
him to the
Germans
emergency
are
room.
weak, because Germans don't have predators, right? This is what I was trying to say. If you grew up with predators, right?
Mm-hmm.
Predators, like I think, like I grew up getting attacked by dogs, like that in Florida.
You think that helped you?
No, I think it gave me anxiety.
It does when you're a kid. When I was a kid, like if you saw a dog on the street, it could always be touch and go. Like you never knew.
Yeah.
You always moved away from a dog that you just saw walk.
How are your
wandering
daughters
around.
around a strange dog?
They know. Yeah, they're like,
Really?
yeah. Because I've seen bad dogs, good dogs. They've seen dogs, and some dogs, you know, you just can't trust them. You don't know them.
No.
You know, you have no idea what's going on with that dog. And most dogs are great. You know, I'm a big fan of dogs, but
Most dogs until they're not.
but it's and people that get like really violent dogs.
Dogs are like,
hey, you know, you got a trainer, you got like a wild monster that lives with you now.
Do you ever about to say something and then someone talks over you and you go, "That was a good call, man. I should say that." I was about to say the most
that right
horrible.
there? Thank you.
I was about to say the most horrible thing, and then
Yeah.
I was like,
Glad we cut you back.
Yeah, man. In Florida, we had gators, we had lightning, we had sharks, we had a lot of poisonous snakes, poisonous spiders. We had molesters. That was really big when I was a kid.
Jesus.
They killed that kid, Adam Walsh, in Miami.
Right,
And so that was my tornadoes, hurricanes. Like we had a lot of things that could kill you. I remember we were in Hawaii. We were doing a hike with this Hawaiian dude. And Isla was terrified. Like Isla has a fear of bees. She has a fear of like spiders and stuff. And she was talking to him about snakes. And the guy said, "Oh, we don't have snakes in Hawaii." And then we get down the hike. We end up at a restaurant or whatever, having a drink, wherever we went to. We're with the guy, and he's very low key. And I said something about like, this is island living. And she said to me, and it was an insight of the from a babe's mouth to a whatever. She goes, "Dad, they don't have snakes. That's all you need to know about this guy." I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "That's why he's so chill. He's never had to deal with snakes." I go, "What?" She goes, "Every time I go in the yard, I'm looking for snakes." Like anytime I walk outside, I'm looking for snakes. Like that's the way when rattlesnakes are a thing in your community. Like you grew where you lived back in LA. That was rattlesnake central.
Oh, for sure.
You never walked into your backyard not thinking there might be a rattlesnake, right?
No, my dogs got bit multiple times.
And when that's your reality, it changes the way you look at life. Fucking Australians got everything that could kill them.
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything.
I mean,
they got those saltwater crocs.
Dude, you can't go on the beach at night in northern Australia. You can't go on the beach at night because crocs are just laying on the beach and you'll think it's a log and sit on them.
Oh my Jesus Christ. Shut the fuck up.
They told us that when we went to go do the Great Barrier Reef. They're like, do not go on the beach at night.
Do you know what a horrific death that would be? If you're a little tipsy and you just sit down on what you think is a log.
I didn't show you this video yesterday.
No, what do you have for me?
We went around yesterday as it happened in Florida. 23-year-old dude went out for a piss in the back behind a bar in a rural area and lost his arm. And it's all not the attack isn't on video, but him thrashing in the water afterwards is, and then they pull him out and the arm missing and pulling a tourniquet on with a guy with a cigarette hanging out over him.
That's where I fucking grew up.
I don't even want to see that.
If you wonder,
I know you would. That's why
don't show me that.
Anyone that ever says like, "Hey Bert, why would you ever fuck around with Xanax?" I grew up like that. We grew up on a lake, living in the lake. We would swim in the lake, knowing at any moment a gator could take you away from your family and take him back to his nest and sit with you in his mouth for fucking 4 days until your body rotted, and then they do the death roll on the bottom. I mean, dude, and then you think about that. So that creates a person, right? Australia, that creates a person. Those are realities in their life. That creates that person, right? All those that trauma. It's not trauma, but like
they're kind of similar in a way.
What's that? Oh yeah. But then you look at Germans. They got nothing. They got nothing.
But I was thinking that Australians and Florida people, there's a lot in common.
Fucking cousins.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like a certain breed of people that has to deal with dangerous environments. Like Australians have to deal with sharks, saltwater crocs, jellyfish.
They have 9
jellyfish can kill them.
The box jellyfish.
They kill people.
People swim in pajamas.
Jeez.
They swim in blue pajamas. I'm not fucking around. You swim in blue. We went to the Great Barrier Reef. They're like it's box jellyfish season. Get on blue pajamas. And so we put on blue pajamas to go snorkeling. Your whole body's covered. You have gel on your face. Every part of you is covered.
Oh my God, dude. Fuck that.
And I was like, why would I snorkel? Because I grew up in Florida.
Why would I do that? Why would you do that? Get the fuck out of that water.
It is a Great Barrier Reef.
Get out of that water.
It's pretty cool.
I'm sure it's cool, but like at what point in time do you not want to get killed by a jellyfish? Most of the time, right? So how do you avoid getting killed by jellyfish? Don't swim where the fucking jellyfish are. Jesus.
They've got
Christ.
9 of the how many deadly snakes does Australia have? Because I think they got 9 of the 10 deadliest snakes. Wow. We went canyoning, canyoning I think it's called, where you like rappel and climb up rocks, but you're going down a canyon through waterfalls and stuff. And the guy was like, keep away. Like anytime you saw debris on the side, keep away from it. You know, we got the 2-step spider or whatever. Their spiders there are fucking next level. There's spiders.
What's it called? The 2-step spider?
I made it up. I don't know what the fuck it's called.
That's a good name for a spider.
A 2 steps because you get bit.
Country western spider.
We get bit and you get 2 steps and then you fall.
Yeah. Oh boy.
That creates a person. I think about Kelly Slater a lot and like because I love the podcast you did with him. You talked about sharks. Mm-hmm. The brain. They can just shut that off.
Did you see the bull shark attack the kayak recently?
Yeah.
In Hawaii?
Was that a bull shark?
Yeah.
I thought the bull...
No, I'm sorry.
The tiger shark.
The
bull shark was the one that bit the tail off the other bull shark. You see that one?
Oh, I didn't see that one. But let's show the kayak one first. The tiger shark. This is in Hawaii. And I think that's a high percentage of people that get bit in Hawaii get bit by these fuckers. Look at that thing. Bro, that is so wild.
Yeah.
Watch that again. That is so crazy. I mean, dude, that thing just stormed.
Wait, was his feet in the water?
Almost.
His feet are in the water right now. Look, watch where his left foot comes from. Watch, his foot's behind the shark right now.
Oh shit.
He almost got his leg bit off.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Look at this. That's his.
Oh my
His
God.
foot, dude, that shark almost bit his femoral
Bro,
artery.
look how insane that is. Look at that thing. Just imagine the feeling of that thing chomping on your kayak. And what if it flips it? You could easily flip it.
Oh, you're fucked.
I mean, it's just kind of luck that it didn't flip it. Look at that. That's insanity.
That's a fucking big tiger shark too.
Oh my God, that's so scary.
That's the guy.
Yeah, fuck, dude. That guy's got to be so happy he's alive.
It's got to be exhilarating.
I'd be like, with this fucking water thing. Fuck you. It's weird, like, people have changed their opinion on sharks. It used to be that everybody hated sharks after Jaws. It'd be like, fuck yeah, let's go shark fishing. Oh, you're a fucking manly shark fisherman. And now it's like, leave the sharks alone. Like, people, they need to protect sharks now. Like, but it's. I understand absolutely that they're right. You need to protect sharks.
Yeah.
But it's just a weird, like, shift. There's like a dangerous predator that eats human beings on a regular basis. And we're like, we got to make sure there's more of those. It's weird. I understand it. I agree with it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it is weird that, like, there was no sharks. No people would get eaten by sharks.
It's called lakes.
You know?
Or not even lakes in Florida. You get eaten by a gator.
Yeah.
Like Michigan lakes. You ever seen people in Michigan? They were swimming, or Wisconsin. It's got or Minnesota. It's got all the fucking lakes.
Right.
And they just swim in lakes and just swim out.
They
And
don't worry about shit.
my wife's like that. My wife, we have in that big lake house in Alabama, and she'll swim out to the middle of the fucking lake.
You know, that's a really good benefit to really cold climates. No reptiles. Because when you got an abundance of dangerous reptiles in terrain where they can hide, you got a real problem, kids.
I think it. Well,
You got a real problem.
We go back to the thing. I think it raises a different person.
Oh, for sure.
I think it creates a person who maybe anticipates the danger, anticipates the, like, do you ever anticipate the tragedy in life? Like, think, because I know you're the kind of guy that I remember you saying one time, anytime I see a guy with a tie on, I go, he doesn't even know what I could do with that tie.
I was always joking around.
I know,
about
but
that.
like,
but I always felt like if I had a tie on, someone could grab my tie and collar choke me.
Yeah.
So I was like, why would you like give someone a handle to put around your neck?
But I wonder if when you grow up with these
I was a little
dangerous,
obsessed with jiu-jitsu back then, though.
fucking Isla is obsessed with jiu-jitsu.
It's really fun, man. I
Obsessed.
wish everybody get obsessed with it.
Shout
I
out
think
to
we'd
Eddie
have
Bravo.
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Eddie Bravo. Shout out to Jean-Jacques Machado. Shout out to all the fucking people teaching that, because I think it's one of the most beneficial things that anyone could ever do for their health, for their brain, the peace of mind.
But once
learning something that's actually effective.
You started fighting early, right?
Well, I started martial arts when I was 15. That's when I really got into it. I took it a little when I was 14, but it was hard to get to the place. I started out at this karate place in Newton, and then I started in Taekwondo when I was 15.
What was your, like, you don't have to obviously whatever, but you talked
I love
about.
how you start a question with, you don't have to obviously whatever.
Well, I know, but I don't know if
Bro,
sometimes
I love
I don't
you.
know.
You know I love you.
But sometimes
Come
I don't
on,
know if
let
you
it
told
out.
me this in secret, and I'm just telling it. I'm asking you a question that you told me as a secret.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me.
What was you got bullied? That's why you got into martial arts, because you got bullied, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I was always small, and I was always new. Where I moved into these places.
What did you weigh at, like, when you got into martial arts? What did you weigh?
Well, I wrestled at 134 when I was 15, or I was 14, 15. I was 15.
That's like
So
two
it's-
Tony
yeah.
Hinchcliffes.
So yeah, and I don't believe I cut weight for that. But I did cut weight when I started fighting when I was 16 and 17. I was cutting down to 140, and I was weighing 140 for a while, but it was a real struggle. And I only did the States at 140 once, and that was when I was 17.
So what was your, like, because I was bullied. It was an all-boys Catholic high school, but it definitely formed a little bit of me that maybe I didn't wish it did.
Yeah,
What was your bullying like? Can you tell me a bullying story?
It wasn't horrible. It was just a bunch of dudes being dicks, and I didn't like the feeling of not being able to defend myself.
Like, was it physical?
It was scary. Oh yeah, one dude grabbed me in a headlock. This is why I started wrestling. One dude grabbed me in a headlock, just like out of nowhere. We were just staring at each other. We didn't even exchange words, and he threw me to the ground, and he raised his fist like he was gonna punch me, and then he decided not to. And he just let me go. Like, it was so easy to do that to me that he didn't have to just beat me up.
Catch and release.
Catch and release. Catch and release. And first of all, thank that dude for doing that. First of all, I don't know why he grabbed me. I didn't touch him. But at least he didn't really hurt me. But it made me realize, like, oh, I don't know what to do if somebody grabs me and tries to wrestle me. So I started taking wrestling. I joined the wrestling team. And I started doing Taekwondo at the exact same time. So I was doing both of them at the exact same time. And I couldn't do two of them. And I had to pick one or the other. And I really enjoyed kicking people. It was exciting. There was something about that was just so. It was such a and that's when I loved movies like Chuck Norris movies and Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. It's like wild kicks is what you want to see people do. You watch a Bruce Lee movie, you want to watch. You want to see? I want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And so that was what I got obsessed with. That seemed to me to be something fun to do.
So what do you think it says? Like, I'm not to get back to what makes you the man you are and what makes me the man I am. Where I go, I want everyone to be pleased. When I got bullied, and my bullying was pretty physical because it was all boys Catholic high school, and everyone's like, boys will be boys.
Yeah.
You know? And got beat up a couple times, like just beat up. My defense was, I don't know if it was because maybe I was a little bit bigger and I was the size of the people. You know, like I got bullied by dudes who were bigger than me, but I was also not like I was probably 180 pounds.
Right.
And so like even still, but I was just a softer dude, you know? And so I wonder if my bullying regressed my aggression, I think, and it turned me into more of a smart ass, more of a like, I'm gonna outwit you. I've always had a respect. I've always had a big respect for dudes who can fight and not fucking with the dudes who can fight. Like obviously I said I'd fight Israel, and I said I think I might have said accidentally, and I'd like to apologize for this publicly. I might have said Tom and I are going to jump Nate Diaz. I might have said I didn't care if Conor McGregor slapped me. Now meeting Conor and meeting Izzy, I know that it's wild talk. I'm a comedian. Everyone should know I'm a comedian. But that energy is where my sense of humor leaned. When I got bullied, I just was like, "Oh, I'm gonna challenge you. I'm gonna challenge you in comedy. And if you don't get it, then you're the fucking idiot. But if you get it, then does that make sense?"
Nope.
Okay. I remember one time I got beat up. I got beat up pretty good.
Yeah.
Like a couple times. I got beat up pretty good. Both were off of jokes. And what's interesting about both those times, both those men, and I doubt they're listening. I guarantee you they're listening, and they may know who they are. But both those men got publicly shamed and kind of shunned by our friend group because they're like, "You don't get jokes." Both those guys didn't get comedy, and they lost a lot of friends, and they lost a lot of because it was like they were jokes.
Right.
But I will tell you, those two men taught me a very valuable lesson. There are men to fuck with, and there are men not to fuck with.
Yeah, some dudes don't want you to play games with them.
They don't, and it's a real challenge of like you're the baddest motherfucker I know. One of the baddest motherfuckers I know personally. I make fun of you a lot, and I've never and I've said wild things about you. I called you gay on fucking Logan Paul's podcast.
Hey, I would love to hear more about this, Jamie. I got that thing is happening to the headphone again. I don't hear myself anymore. We're gonna pause for a second, folks.
Shout out to Sebastian. He just sent me a very sweet text.
Sorry, folks. We had a technical issue, the headphone jack issue. Sebastian, what happened?
He just sent me. Sebastian's got a movie also this weekend. It's called My Father. I think it's called My Father. And with Robert De Niro, we both have movies opening this weekend. This is my thing I'll say right now. Just bring back comedy. Bring back comedy. Support either of our movies. Go out and watch comedies. Bring back comedies. Go to the fucking movie theaters. Go to the fucking movie theaters. Text your friends. If you like the movie, see mine on fucking Friday, Sebastian on Saturday. Mine on Saturday, Sebastian on Friday. Whatever it is, support fucking comedy. Sent me a really sweet text.
It's a weird sort of time for movies because people are like very scared to take chances like they took in these classic like Tropic Thunder. Like you could never. Shout out. You could never.
It's the writer for Fat Astronauts.
Oh my God. Perfect.
Hey, if the machine does well in theaters, we get a green light on Monday, and this script is, you want to see cum in space? You're going to see a lot of it. It's about, it's a weird time. I told you this, I'll say it again, but like I was in Serbia before the first day of shooting. I had some wine at dinner, and I was laying in bed, and I listened to you on a podcast, and you said, here's the problem with comedies. They don't go fucking hard anymore. And I sat up in bed, and I went, my first scene isn't hard. My first scene isn't hard. It's soft, and it's stupid, and he's right. And I fucking rewrote it. I woke up my cousin.
Whoa.
I rewrote it. I said, what do you think? You think it's better? And he goes, I don't know if they're going to let you do it. And I said, I know, but I'm listening to Joe, and like if you're a little bit of a lighthouse for us comics, is where you've always given me great advice, and I'm hearing you say it third hand through a podcast. We rewrote it. I went in. I gave it to Peter Tensio. I said, can we shoot this also? Shoot this one also. Do the one you want for safety. Peter Tensio read it and laughed. Sent it to the director. He read it, or the producer Kale loved it, and he was like, let's shoot this one instead.
Beautiful.
And so we fucking come out hard.
That's great. It also sounds like a group of people get you.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, when a guy has his first big movie, they'll tell you what to do and give you advice that might not necessarily work with your personality.
Well, people want to be safe, and they want and they don't want to get fired, man. Everyone's got a BMW, and they got to pay the payment.
Bro, imagine being the lady that decided to do that Bud Light campaign with Dylan Mulvaney. Imagine, never thinking that a mistake that you make in a company could go that bad. And so people, when they see something like that in the news, they get so fucking scared of being the person that gets involved in another thing like that, for the left or for the right. It's companies that are learning that attaching yourself to these socio-political things, there's consequences. People get mad.
Oh,
they get really mad.
The day that commercial came out, I'm in
Can I get that
fucking
lighter?
yeah, please.
Thank you, sir.
The day that commercial comes out, I'm in some fucking arena. I only say arena so that we know the conversation that you don't try out a lot of new material in arenas. An arena's show is pretty fucking dialed in.
Yeah, pretty dialed in.
So I bring out a Bud Light. I've been drinking on stage lately. I bring out a Bud Light, and this dude boos. He goes, boo! And I'm like, what? And he's like, don't drink that shit. That's trans shit. And I'm like, huh? And this woman goes, he's talking about the commercial. I was like, wait, because I don't follow the news at all. I go, what the fuck's going on?
Right.
And then people start talking. They go, Bud Light did a commercial with the trans lady. Kid Rock shut up the beer. No one's drinking Bud Light now.
Yes.
And then I go, now mind you, we're in an arena. I'm rolling the dice pretty hard. I go, I don't think they went hard enough. I go, if I was at Bud Light, this is a commercial I'd make. Dude's on the corner of his bed. He's got a Bud Light in his hand. His chick's behind him. She's like, are we going to do this or what? He's like, no. We're doing it. And he kills the Bud Light. And then he gets in the bed and he sucks his girlfriend's cock. That's the fucking trans commercial I want to see.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's representative.
And all you see is his head going up and down.
Nice.
And she's like, and then her voice lowers, like, yeah, play with the balls, play with the balls.
Whoa.
And then he fucking swallows.
This is
and
very
then he
specific.
follows it with another Bud Light.
This is the chaser.
Make that's inclusive.
It is. It's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go hard. Just go so far the other direction. I wonder how much further do people forgive? Because if these people, look, they're right-wingers generally tend to be Christian. Do you think they forgive Bud Light? Is there forgiveness in that? Or is there no forgiveness in a large corporation that attaches? So is it a lesson for the other corporations if you want to attach yourself to polarizing viewpoints and things that are hot button social topics? There's consequences.
I don't know. I hope it's not.
Why are corporations getting involved in social stuff anyway? There's only one reason. Because they think that it's going to benefit their bottom line. Up until now.
No, it's the same.
But now it's different. Now they're doing things. They're getting involved in social issues because they think they have to. And they have the company has to be representative, and they have to go out there and get involved in these things.
Your silence is deafening. That's
the
thing.
Oh yeah.
When the black squares came out, do you remember the black squares?
They force you into compliance, and anytime someone's forcing you into compliance, that is never good. It's never good, because if they can do it with that, then it keeps moving further and further down the line, and then you've got some weird new quasi freedom.
Well, you know what it is? Here's the slippery slope, though. So you're getting ready to do a Hollywood premiere, right?
Right.
And they're at the front. And they're like, "Hey, do we stand with all women?" And some dude, I won't say names, but some dude who's an actor is like part of him's like, "Hey man, I got dirt, so I don't want to put the thing on to look like I'm being disingenuous, but maybe I'll skate by."
Oh, they give you a pin?
They give you a pin.
Oh, come on. You can't force someone to wear a pin. That's crazy.
It's how, I won't say anyone's name, so I don't want to drag up old stuff, but how a couple dudes got caught. They wore a pin on the carpet, and then activists were like, "Hold on, you got shit in your closet. Get the fuck out." And so a lot of people just, it's like,
even it's for the best cause in the world. If someone's getting you to join us. Now you're part of social structures.
Yeah.
You're part of these weird things that people do when they join groups. You know, it's like if you had pins on and you came with them, maybe. But like to try to get do you agree with us about anything?
Well, that's the internet. That's
Even
the
if it
internet.
was an American flag, that would freak people out. Want to do this for America? Put this on for America. People would start going, "Hey, like you're gonna make me put something on,
dude, the black
You're
square.
gonna hand me something?
The
and
black square
shame
was
me if I
that.
don't put the flag on."
The black square was that. I woke up
Yeah.
I woke up that morning. I think it was pandemic times, right? June 2020. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pandemic
for sure.
times. I woke up in bed and I opened it and I saw a black square and I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. I was like, "That's cool, man. Yeah, stand up for Black Lives Matters and post the squares." And I was like, "That's pretty cool." And then I saw people not posting and like posting a picture of their mom or something, and everyone's like lighting up. "Oh, so you hate black people?" And then I was like, "Oh, this looks a little toxic." And I go, "You know, I'm going to stay away from this today." I like that it's happening. I support that it's happening, but I may not be the right guy to post up a black square, right? In the special that just aired, I had a joke about me and a black dude that maybe could have been on the fence, right? So I was like, I might be not to be the spokesman they want. And this is back when I looked at my DMs, and then my DMs are like, "No black square? No black square. So this is who you are. This is who you are, Bert." And I'm talking like a few. "You've made money. You just did your last special and you made a joke about a black guy. Stand with him. How dare you make the money off black?" And I'm sitting there going, "Well, fuck, man." And I'm really assessing who I am as a person. And I'm like, "Well, I do, like," and then you're laying in bed. This is all happening in bed. You're like, I do support, some of my favorite human beings are black. My bus driver, who I love to death, Ron. I was like, well, is he thinking this about me? And then you post a black square, and then it's the other side. "Oh, so you're one of those cuck cowards." And then you eliminate the comments, and God fucking damn. And then you're like, I guess I'm throwing my phone into the river.
Yeah, man, it's a tribal thing that happens with human beings, especially with polarizing ideas. You know,
Well,
whether
it
it's
happens-
a woman's right to choose, or whether it's pro-choice, or whether it's do you support Black Lives Matter? Or the real problem becomes when people enforce compliance and they want you to comply, whether it's like they're doing it socially, whether they're threatening your livelihood. Like you can force people to think a certain way if their livelihood depends on it, and we know that happens, man. It's sketchy shit.
It happened. When they tried to cancel you, and people started, like, I wasn't aware that it was going on, and I wake up and my DMs are lit up. "How dare you not support Joe?" And I'm like, what's I don't even know what's fucking happened. And then and then you sit there for a moment. You sit at your desk and you find out what's going on, and you write something. And you go, "I know this is gonna, like, I know some of these LA parents that friends with, or some of my, aren't gonna like my stance right now. But this is my friend." I don't remember what I wrote. I posted a picture of me and you. I said something. I'm very privileged to have Joe as my friend. I love him. I stand by him. Whatever. Whatever. But dude, you want to fucking talk about fucking throwing a fucking and then I got a text from my dad. My dad is is a phone call. My dad goes, "Buddy, I know I met Joe. He's a sweet guy. I don't really stand for whatever's going on with him right now, but I'm so proud to have raised a man that stands by his friends." And you're like, "Oh yeah, that's the real world. That's the world Joey Diaz lives in. That real interaction you have with another human being where you go, I did the right thing. I'm going to start my day." Like, fuck the internet. Fuck the comments. I'm not going to fucking sit there in the comments and start fighting with people. I got into fucking indigenous mascots last night randomly on a fucking someone else's post, and I'm reading all these comments and I'm getting worked up. I'm like, whoa. I like the old school mascot from Florida State. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck.
Which thing was this? The N-word video?
N-word video.
Yeah. Boy, I could see why people would be so upset. Obviously, we used to say the word in a way like if you were like using it in a sentence, like talk about a Richard Pryor routine. If you were, it didn't seem as offensive then as it does now. Now it seems like impossibly offensive.
Yeah.
That's what's interesting is that there's no words that are really that way where it's positive if certain people use it and negative if other people use it. Like you could say it as like an affirmation. You could say it as like a punchline sometimes.
A punchline sometimes.
So many stand-ups.
Derek Poston, shout out to him. I counted last night. I think it was 25, and he did 10 minutes.
I mean, but if you're a stand-up, I mean, it is a very valuable word.
But you know what's crazy is I watched Derek last night. Fucking hilarious, and he uses the word a lot. And I started counting a couple times. So I was like, this is because I just seen you, and you have not spoiler alert, but great fucking thing. And I watched Derek, and I kind of counted, and I thought, what's amazing is they are not even hearing the word really. They're not hearing the word as if I said it, they'd hear it. It's just skating by.
Right. When he says it, it doesn't cause any tension.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. But that's what's so weird about that word is that it's the only word where the amount of melanin in your skin predicates whether or not you could that dictates whether or not you can say it. Where you're from, that dictates where you can say it. It's like it's a word that is privileged to a certain group. I mean, not privileged, obviously. It's a terrible slur pointed at people.
Yeah.
But when they're using it the way they want to use it, whether it's in hip-hop lyrics or whether it's in stand-up comedy, when they're using it the way they want to use it, it's a beautiful, like, social tool.
It's melodic.
Oh, my God. For stand-up comedy, I think it gives an extra layer of flavor.
Oh.
Like, if, like, Chappelle uses
Chappelle's got a joke about, I won't even fucking but about him and his dude in the car, and a cop pulls up next to him, and it's a white guy, and he's like, I think we should race him. And Chappelle goes, and he uses the word, but the word is the thing, and it gives it such a like, where you're like, it just sparkles.
Well, Chris Rock is one of the greatest bits ever on that word. I mean, it's a fucking amazing bit, and when it's just a very, very strange word in terms of like all the other words that exist. That's the only one. Like, there's no positive like slurs against Jews. Right? There's no slurs against Jews that if someone was Jewish, they could say in a positive way.
Well, hang
on.
But the flip is Jewish people, I'm getting comfortable. Jewish people will mock their Judaism in front of you.
Yes.
Like I can't,
Ari will.
I can't throw a baseball. Typical Jew. But if you said it to them, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you trying to say?"
Right.
And you're like, and here's the thing I was trying to think of last night. So I wanted to talk to you about that thing you're doing, because I was like, it's really brilliant. And one of the things I was thinking is like, it's possible that white people don't have a word that is as explosive or volatile to us that means so much. And so maybe we can't understand.
No way.
We can't understand.
But it's crazy just as a word that the flip side of it is they can use it and it just sounds fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't offend anybody. We're all just sitting there. Everyone's laughing.
It makes times better.
It's a weird word, man.
Snoop said it to me when I walked. We were at this event. I might have told you, and I said, I want to go hang out with Snoop. And Leanne's like, can't you hang out with Snoop? I go, he's my friend. If we can't hang out, then we're not friends. So I went over. I said to the guy, I was like, tell Papa Bert's here. And he was like, what? No. And I was like, just tell Papa Bert's here. And he's like, who's Papa? I go, just yell, Papa Bert's here. He goes, Papa Bert's here. And he's like, yeah, dog wants to see him. And then I just walked through. I went back. First words out of Snoop's mouth, and I felt so much love. I felt so much fucking love.
Right?
I felt so much love.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that crazy?
That word is it's just as a word, it's so fascinating.
And now the exact opposite, if I had said that to him,
oh yeah,
it would have ruined the night.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we're aware of that social interaction, but at the same time, there was this time where people thought, like I remember reading the word in high school during reading Huck Finn, reading it aloud.
In Huck Finn,
reading it aloud.
Is that still in it, or did they change the words?
I don't know.
Because I think some. Let's find out what's going on with that, because I feel like I read that there was some call to remove that word from Huckleberry Finn. Yeah? Sure. Let's see what it says. Yeah, it's like... Well, you remember the Chevy Chase routine with Richard Pryor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
On SNL? I mean, It
was interesting, too, is there was a period of time where Quentin Tarantino had white people saying it in his movies.
Oh, yeah. Well, he said it a bunch of times in Pulp Fiction. Alabama publisher says expurgation... Is that the right word? Expurgation.
I'm using never said that when before. I come.
Hi.
I'm expurgating.
Of more than 200 hurtful epithets will counter preemptive censorship that has seen Mark Twain's... Yeah, okay, it censors the N-word. What do they use in replace of that word? They just call him Jim?
Oh. Yeah. You're reading the words. Read all the words they say.
Oh, my God, they're going to replace it with the word slave.
Wait, what?
Wow. In the new edition, the word will be replaced in each instance by slave. The word engine will also be replaced in the text. I wonder what...
That's an interesting word. I never really heard that word growing up.
Engine?
Yeah. And we grew up in Florida where the Seminole tribe was like really big.
Well, they were the only unconquered tribe.
Seminole tribe.
Yeah.
We did, I did the Civic Center in Tallahassee. And right before the show, they gave me the spear. Have I told you this story?
No.
I just don't like repeating myself, and I do it a lot.
It's okay. I forget stories.
Good.
I enjoy them in the moment, but there's too many of them. My database is so overwhelmed. I'm like a shitty old computer that just has way too many fucking
so when
movies on it.
Growing up in Tampa, I had no civic pride. Like we kids in Boston, you had civic pride. Right. You wore the Red Sox hat. We just had the Bucks, and they sucked.
Right.
When I went to Florida State, when I started going to Florida State, my dad said, "You're gonna have so much fun. You're gonna really experience the community. Those football games." I didn't understand what he was saying. My dad grew up in New York, Yankees fan. Like my dad understood that and knew I didn't have it as a kid. And I went to Florida State. And my first game, I didn't really understand. We're all wearing the same colors. We're doing the Tomahawk chant. And that first game, Chief Osceola comes out on Renegade, and he has on the horse. Have you ever seen this?
No.
He has a burning spear, and he comes out. Hey, Jamie, you got to pull it up. So beautiful, on bareback on a horse. Dude dressed Native American, like a Seminole, with a burning spear, and he goes out to the center of the fucking thing, and he rears Renegade back up on his two legs, and he holds it there, and the whole crowd's going, ah, and then he spikes the burning spear in the center. The place explodes. Look at this. Look at this. Now, a kid from Florida, I'm seeing this. This is me.
Look at all these...
Fucking 18 years old.
This is so crazy.
Just committing a hate crime.
What is the hand forward supposed to represent?
Throwing the spear.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Throwing the spear.
This is so psycho.
Dude, this is me at 18 with no idea. I'm high as shit.
Psycho.
I'm drunk. I don't know what's going on. My dad told me to get ready for this, and I'm a part of this in the moment, right? Doak Campbell Stadium. One of the coolest college experiences you could ever have in a million fucking years. Fuck the Irish.
Football.
Fuck Shane Gillis.
Football.
Shane Gillis, you fat fuck. Fuck your team. Yeah, shut him. Yeah, shut the fuck up and stay there. Yeah, and then
Look
watch.
at this.
This is Florida State,
Listen,
baby.
man, football is war with a condom on.
Wait, did they show Chief Osceola throwing the spear yet?
This is a representation of war. Look at everyone's chanting and cheering for their warriors. Look at these warriors spill out onto the field.
Yeah. But wait, you gotta see Osceola.
Okay,
Go to-
but you don't realize how crazy this looks?
Look at this. These are our Sabbath. Yeah, fuck yeah. Let's get after them, boys.
Oh, you're
Here
getting
we go.
territorial.
Fuck yeah. This is me. This is my fucking.
That's not you, Bert. You live
Watch
in
this,
Burbank.
watch this, watch
Shut
this.
the fuck up.
This is who I was. This is my grooming, Joe. This is the snakes I grew up with. These are the gators I grew up with.
Okay.
And then,
You're so excited about a team
this
filled
is-
with people you don't know.
but these are my colors.
Oh, I get it now. No,
And then
no.
you got to see the. Go to Chief Osceola.
It's not showing it on this video.
They're not showing it.
That's
No.
one of the things that I like about combat sports. There's none of this.
So then he throws a spear in. The place pops. Pops. 80,000 people pops. I start crying. Oh. Like, I'll get emotional.
Can you imagine?
I start crying. So I'm a part of something. Like something bigger than me. I'm a part of it the first time in my life. So I come back to play the arena. And hold on, hit pause. Right. I go back to play the arena. And they have everything. I mean,
Everything. Tootsie Rolls.
They welcome back, Birdie boy.
Okay.
Like it's like they have a red carpet lined up,
Oh my
and they
God.
say to me, and I take a walk through campus, and kids are sticking their heads out the window. Welcome home, Birdie boy. It's so silly that I get emotional about this. And they say to me, at the end, they said, hey, there's a present we want to give you before you go on stage. I'm such a fucking idiot. I thought I was getting a doctorate. I thought they were gonna give me like the cap and gown. You're a doctor of partying or some shit.
Yeah.
And they give me the spear. They give me the fucking spear. And they're like, hey. And then this is me. This is one of the greatest moments of my fucking life.
You
Fucking
taking your
in
shirt off?
Tallahassee? No, take a look at this. Tell me how fucking beautiful that is.
Oh, yeah, I saw this. I saw this on your Instagram. This is amazing. Look at all they're doing. They tomahawk with their fucking hands. Everyone's doing it with their phones. This is... Boy, it'd be so easy to start a cult there.
Fuck
Oh,
yes.
yeah. You could just...
Send me back.
You're ready.
Send me back, brother.
It's
Play
so,
that at my funeral.
Isn't that interesting how fucking territorial people are and how much they love like an area that they're from?
Yeah. It's what's
but
crazy.
It's also like when you're
You want
talking
that
about
lighter?
like survive. Yeah,
I got it.
there it is. If you're talking about surviving alligators and living in the swamps with wild folks.
That's how we get
it's like,
down.
That's how you get down.
That's how you get down.
Yeah.
Go to Australia and do a show, and they're all going showy. I got a throat infection.
From drinking out of people's shoes.
I drank out of so many shoes, Joe.
Jesus Christ.
I had to stop. I was
You had
like,
a throat infection.
I got a throat
so even
infection.
all the alcohol that you were throwing down wasn't enough to counteract the funk of someone's fucking dirty feet. That
it
you were
was my
sucking on?
shoes. I started buying new shoes so I could
that's
do more shoes.
Gross. That's so gross. Your own shoe. You drinking your own funk. No, what's worse? Your funk would be way better than
Joe,
someone
I was
else's.
buying brand new shoes just to drink out of.
Oh Christ!
Very seldomly in America do I wake up going, what shoe am I going to drink out of today? And that was every fucking day in Australia.
Yeah, you got to give up on that idea. These people are. Oh, stop! I don't want to see
That was
this.
me. If you Google Bert shoe, you'll see them all over
Wonder
the
if
place.
that's good for your gut biome.
You're
know?
so Joe Rogan.
Yeah. I wonder.
You are the
know?
weirdest dude I know. Wonder if that's good for your gut biome.
Yeah, I would
Yo,
imagine like
Huberman, get on that.
Stresses you a little. Like puts like people in some countries, they drink their water and they don't have a problem. But if American went over there and drank their water, they would get deathly sick.
Mexico.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
you can't brush your teeth with that shit.
Montezuma's Revenge gives you asshole fucking jet spray. It's bad diarrhea, hangover, right? It's real bad, right?
We did it to the Native Americans. We rolled over here and just fucking infected them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With like little
Smallpox.
things. Was it smallpox? Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
literally killed 90% of the population. 90%. I mean, it was we think of the genocide as being like us killing, or not us.
Trail of Tears
obviously,
and shit.
My family came over here in the 20th century. But we think of it as, massacres, but it wasn't. It was that for sure. There was a lot of massacres. It's a lot of atrocities.
Yeah.
But also the majority of people were killed by diseases they had no immunity for.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably what happened with the Mayans too. When they think about like where this civilization, they created these incredible structures. Like, how did this happen? And you go back to Cabeza de Vaca, when there's a great book called "A Land So Strange," and it's all about these guys from Spain landing in Florida and making their way and running into the Mayans and like, what the fuck
Florida?
is going on
In
down there?
Florida?
Oh, dude.
Wait, what's the name of this book?
It's called "A Land So Strange."
A Land So Strange.
Yeah. There's what these guys encountered when they're talking about when those early settlers encountered these incredible cities where people had all these gold ornaments and this incredible sophistication. And then when people went back later, it was gone. Everyone was dead. Because those people that went there first and then came and told everybody about it, they killed them all. They just breathed on them with that European funk, the stuff that they had lived with, so they had immunity to it. So when they came over here, they just killed everybody.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's what happened to 90%, they think, of the Native Americans.
And happened probably
the
throughout
Aztecs, the Mayans.
the Micronesia, probably when James Cook started
Probably
discovering
all over
everything.
the place. Well, that's also one of the reasons why North Sentinel Island, that island where that missionary went and got murdered by the natives, like they think that the reason why they're hostile to people is that at one point in time there was this guy who was a famous explorer / pervert who used to travel around and take photographs of people like dressed up in Roman costumes and shit. And a lot of these people, like, they went to a bunch of these sort of uncontacted islands and they kidnapped some people and got a bunch of people sick. And a few people died from whatever they got sick from.
Yeah.
And so I think they've always connected people that visit them with like sickness and death. Like that guy fucked it up for everybody.
I had that feeling towards women for a while.
Ah!
You get the clap once, and you're like, I don't trust any fucking woman.
Venereal diseases are pretty wild because it's like diseases are so crafty. They figure out a way, like, how can I get in there? I know. I got to get on that guy's dick.
Have you ever heard of VD?
I never had anything that was worth talking about on a podcast.
So crabs?
Nothing deadly. Nothing deadly.
Crabs?
What's terrifying to me is that that's how people died in the 1400s.
Al Capone.
Al
Capone had fucking syphilis.
Yeah, you watch those old photographs and video of, well, I guess not photographs, but do they have video of anybody who has syphilis?
Oh, their nose goes away.
Everything, the big holes in their faces and scary shit, man. Because like that fucking tissue rotting, like what does that do to your insides? You've got holes in your face and holes in the top of your head, and it's from sex.
Dude,
I've told this a million times, but you know that's where the term bigwigs comes from, right?
No.
You don't know this? There was these French royal guys, and they had syphilis, and so their hair was falling out, and they put on these wigs, and when they were very popular socially, and everyone started wearing wigs, and the more money you had, the bigger your wig was.
Really?
That's what bigwig is. Yeah,
I love those.
It comes from syphilis.
That should be an app. I love those.
Those
like,
kind of
when
facts.
they go, you know where Cat in the Bag came from.
Yeah. There's some good ones like that.
Like
right?
like Long in the Tooth. Mm-hmm. Is because you hold a horse's mouth open
right.
to see how long the tooth was, and that's about how old they were.
Right.
And then you start looking at old people's teeth, especially their bottom teeth, and they're really fucking long. And you're like, whoa, wow, holy shit.
Yeah.
Your gums start falling apart. Mm-hmm. I like that shit.
Yeah. It's interesting, those phrases, like where they come from. But that one's particularly weird.
I wonder if we've started any as comics, because comedy's so big right now. Like, give them the light.
Yeah, give them the light, maybe. There's probably a few. It's a fun time for comedy.
Dude.
It's a fun time.
Can I tell you, I was thinking about this in bed today. I was like, I wonder, like, I'll put it in UFC terms. Like, so Oleg Taktarov is in our movie.
I love that dude.
He loves you, and he is a fun fucking hang.
He's a fun dude.
Do you remember when we FaceTimed you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We were watching the World Cup soccer, and I went to this hotel because the whole cast is over there. He's a big dude. And he's still strong as fuck, and he's tight. Like, he's a strong man. Oleg
Taktarov was one of the first guys that I ever saw in MMA pull off leg locks against, like, really high level competition. And then I found out about Pancrase afterwards. I felt like, but Oleg was like one of the first guys I think I ever saw that pulled off leg locks. I was like, wow.
Yeah. So I was thinking about this. So he's in the movie. He's a big actor. He's a big actor now. But when I ran into him, we were both drinking beers, and I didn't realize who it was. And he just walks up to me in that Russian accent. He's like, "You know Joe?" And I was like, "Rogan?" He goes, "Yeah, call him." And I go, Joe, that's not how Joe works. You don't just like FaceTime Joe. And he goes, "FaceTime Joe." And I FaceTime you when you picked up, and he grabbed the phone. And he goes, "Joe," and you're like, "Oleg, holy shit, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'm doing a movie with them." But like, I think about this when I think about comedy. So like, you look at Oleg and the career he had. He was a fucking legend, right?
Yeah.
You look at Hoist Gracie. You look at Shamrock, Ken Shamrock, Tito Ortiz.
Right.
All these fucking. The guy with the fucking strong ear who would use it against people,
Randy Couture.
And the fucking
charades.
Yeah, and then the other guy who always seemed like he got sliced on his eye by a glove during a fight, and he had to tap out because he got sliced by a glove. He used to fight against Randy all the time.
That was Randy too, buddy.
No.
Randy got his eye cut.
Oh, was it Randy?
Yeah, and it was against Vitor Belfort.
Chuck Liddell.
Oh, yeah. Chuck didn't have that issue. That
thought he did.
Yeah, no, that was Randy against Vitor Belfort. It was just a very unusual injury, and it sliced the eyelid open, and they had to stop the fight. Like the actual eyelid had separated.
I remember that. Well, I remember it kind of.
They couldn't let him fight, apparently.
But so you think about all those guys, right? Those are like the guys that started, the guys that were the one that piqued our interest. They ran UFC, and then you look at like Izzy and fucking Conor, and you see how much money someone like Conor makes. And I always wonder if those guys look at Conor and go like, "Shit, man, you're welcome for the path I carved through the road, because you would have never gotten there." Last night I'm hanging out with Dice, thinking Dice is the first guy that ever did stadium, like arenas. For in our gen. I mean, Steve Martin did, but he was the only motherfucker that did arenas.
Yeah, he was the first, for sure. The first guy to do, and he did, what was the number he said? He said some insane number. Do you remember the number he said he did?
And yeah, it's like
700 or some shit like that.
Oh,
some insane number of arenas.
Oh,
he
the
sold
shows.
out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was thinking of something else.
I don't remember what the number was, but it was like, holy shit.
And we're talking about Carlin and fucking all the legends that were in the 80s. They never got to do stadiums and arenas. Fucking Andrew Schultz did the fucking Houston Stadium the other day. He did the stadium. I mean, Tommy did 2 shows at the United Center. I
It's
won't
a
talk,
wild time for comedy.
but I wonder if those comics look at us the same way Oleg and those guys look at Conor. Like, it's just lucky timing. We just showed up at a time when these people laid the foundation for what could become. You know?
Listen, you're going to waste time and energy thinking about that. It's like, fucking, who cares what they think?
Like, you look at the old...
Like, it is what it is.
Mike Schmidt played for the fucking Phillies. And then you see him negotiate a contract for $350,000. And then you look at the guys negotiating for like $750,000.
Right.
It's just a crazy that, like, I was trying to like break it down in my head.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. But for sure, but that's going to be the case with the next generation that comes up after us. They'll probably have some insane advantage as well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just social media and podcasts just changed everything. Changed everything.
I'm going to do 2 seconds, but you gave a lot to us.
You gave a lot to me.
No. I meant to our community.
Yeah,
because
but
you didn't have like your 3 openers that you only put on. You weren't. It wasn't just you and your couple boys. You opened it up to all of us, and you were like, "Hey Tom, who's your buddy Bert?" And then he's like, "Oh, you should meet Bert." "Oh, I want to meet him." And then you'd put people over. "Hey Bert, who's that guy?" I'm saying this, but like, I had Tim on my podcast very early, and then all of a sudden, like, you're like, "Hey, introduce me to Chris DiStefano," and all these guys that are like, you never had any jealousy about you. You always were generous with your platform and with your fans, and maybe not enough people know that, and maybe not enough people appreciate just the feeling that we as a community have for you, because you gave us things, and not money, not anything, but just opportunities. I said this to Big Boy on a podcast the other day. You never cared about one-upping anyone. I do that sometimes in podcasts. Someone tells a story, I tell the story that I think's better. I do it. But like, you didn't. You were like, that's a great story. And then you go, hey, do you ever wonder how they build the pyramids? And you just talk about, like, you just were like curious and fun and like, and I'm telling you, man, I said to someone the other day, you got like 10 friends who do arenas.
Pretty crazy.
That never happened.
That's pretty wild.
You have 10 of your best friends that do arenas.
Yeah.
There's not a lot. I haven't put over people like that. There's not a lot of comics out there that have done that for comedy. And you never said like, yo, can I get a cut of that or anything?
Listen, that's very nice of you to say, but in my defense, there's no one else had the opportunity that I had. I had a very unique situation. So it was, for me, it was like, it makes sense. It's mutually beneficial. It's great for everybody. It's great for the art form. It's fun. And I like when people do well. I like it. I've always liked it.
That's unique. You know that, right?
It shouldn't be. It's a mindset. I could have fallen into the same jealous mindset that most people have. I'm not a special person. I just figured it out early on that it's actually a weakness. See, I analyzed it, like when I would feel bad about someone doing well. I'd be like, what is that about? And I sat around and I thought about it for quite a bit. And this was when I was like 21, because I remember I had definitely had a lot of jealousy when I was fighting. But then when I got into comedy, I sort of carried that over. And one time I was thinking about it, and it really bothered me, because I'm like, that seems like that's taking up a lot of my energy, that I'm jealous of someone who's doing better than me. Like, why would I do that? Why, when I instead could have the exact same experience but be inspired? Mm-hmm. I'm like, it's just a mindset switch. And it also makes it so much easier to hang out with people and talk to people. It makes you have better bonds with people. If you can just fucking enjoy watching people do well and then do your best. Do your best and enjoy watching people do well. And I think that doing well is contagious. And I think doing well, if you're around people that do well and you help them and they help you, I think it's contagious. And I think that shit spreads.
You gave us success pox.
Yeah, little
you were the settler that came into a bunch of indigenous people and gave us success pox. Because it's like...
Well, we have to take credit to the store, too, because it all really came to fruition at the store. It's like the camaraderie that we all had at the store. And that, it was like the first group that actually benefited from each other, rather than, if you and I were both up for the same role in a sitcom. We're friends, but we see each other auditioning. And it's like, and some guys will get shitty with you, just try to fuck with your head. I've experienced that before in auditions. I was like, oh, God, people insult you just to try to fuck with your head or try to make you feel bad before you go into the room. But we didn't have that, because we sort of like made it in a time when the internet was coming alive. And as our careers advanced, the internet did too. And what happened was we all became a benefit to each other instead of a liability. Like, to have really funny friends that you could do podcasts with was great. We would do each other's shows, and we would all have fun together, and then we would go to the Ice House and do shows there and do this and do that. Everyone became a great asset instead of a liability.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of like a competition, like, oh, he might get the part, it became, and then we also realized that when you do a bunch of shows like we were doing at the Ice House with a bunch of killers, you get better.
Oh,
you get better.
Yeah,
you get better. Everybody gets better.
Mark Norman watched me last night. I told a joke that it's not a joke. It was just something that happened to me once in life. Mm-hmm. And it's a story, but it's just a weird story. And you need guys like Adam Egan or Mark Norman came up to me. He goes, "That's a fucking bit." Mm-hmm. And I was like, "For real?" He's like, "Dude, it's fucking hilarious." And then you're
sometimes, right? You just like, someone needs to tell you, and then you're like, "Oh, I know I can say it. I know how to." Okay.
Dude,
and then you got to work on it.
I said one of the best jokes I had on Secret Time was not. I go to film Secret Time, and the week before I spent every night at the store, and I said I want to make sure where these holes are, because that's a pretty honest audience. Mm-hmm. And I randomly told a story about giving my wife pajamas for Christmas. Just in the OR when you're bombing.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I got to pivot.
Right.
And I'm just like, this will work. This is a good story. It wasn't in my hour. And Adam Egget pulled me aside. He goes, that's the best joke you have.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And I went, it's not a joke. And he goes, it better be in Secret Time. And I go, no, it's not. And I moved it up. I took it that weekend. That week I worked it out at the OR, put it in Secret Time in the first like 14 minutes where I work specials differently, I think. Put in the first 14 minutes. It's like the biggest joke I had. And I go, thank God I'm around fucking smart motherfuckers.
Yeah, thank God. It's nice to have a lot of people to bounce things off of too. That's been nice about being here.
I liked what I told Adam last night. So I work with a young lady who's fucking a gangster. She's a gangster. She's awesome. And Adam said, how did that happen? And I go, I watched what Joe did with you. He goes, what? And I go, Joe wanted you. He's like, Joe's like, I'm starting a club. I want that guy.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm paraphrasing, tell me what you want. Cool, let's do it. I said the same thing to Victoria. I said, tell me what you want. Cool, let's do it. Mm-hmm. You surround yourself by the motherfuckers, and you are golden. And you walk in. Leanne said last night. Leanne had a beautiful experience at the Comedy Mothership. She said to me this morning, I feel like Austin hasn't been. I have any of mine because you always go there by yourself, and it's so cool. Because she goes, every club I go to with you, they know who I am, and I just didn't think anyone would know me at the Comedy Mothership. And then we stayed there until 3 in the fucking morning. She goes, that's the coolest place. She goes, did he hire everyone that's good? And I went, everyone. He got everyone. And that's the fucking model. Fucking surround yourself by the motherfuckers.
Yeah, do it the right way too.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it. And don't do it until you can do it the right way. Bide your time. Take chances.
Take chances. Sell fleshlights.
Yeah, have some fun out in this wild world. Bert Kreischer, you were probably on episode like fucking 3 or something like that. What episode was Bert Kreischer on?
Oh,
no, it's late.
No,
what was the
machine
number?
story was number 95. But
wow, the machine was number 95.
Wait, what year was that? Can you tell me? People always ask.
Say that's 2010. The machine story.
I never would have told her.
What a wild thing. Out of all the things that have emerged from the podcast, this has got to be the most preposterous.
Number 73 might have been your first one.
73 is when I told the Tracy
right.
Morgan story.
So that was January 2013.
Shout out to Tracy. I'm so sorry.
2013?
Hold on. This is
no,
the
this
actual
was
date
somebody
isn't
else.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Either way, it was a long-ass time ago. If you would have told me that you telling that story on the podcast would not just become like a part of your act you have to tell every time, it would also become a fucking movie that's about to come out. I always said, what? Yeah, it's going to be like the #1 movie in the country. What are you talking about? That story? On this fucking show we did in a bedroom in my house? How is this possible? How is it possible?
That one was April 5th, 2011.
2011.
Dude.
That's when you told it.
April's my fucking month.
Wow.
April's my
your month.
fucking month.
What a crazy fucking story.
The Rolling Stone magazine came out April 1st.
And for someone to try to like take that story and say, do you support the mafia? Are you a part of robbing? Have your friends forgiven you? Like, what are you trying to play gotcha journalism? How many dorks did you have to talk to when you did this media junket? Look at young Bert. Look at you.
Look at Joe Rogan with a beard, black beard.
Back in the day, son.
This is about the time.
Last time you were here, there's a fucking story about the Russian mob.
That's it.
We tease these bitches. we let these people right now on Twitter, they have been going crazy all day. Do not let Bert Kreischer get out of there without the Russian mob story, man. Okay. Tell us what the fuck happened. Go find that online, ladies and gentlemen, because it's fucking amazing.
That story changed my life, Joe. That story changed my life.
Hey, we all changed each other's lives.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately. We really did. We got a great thing going on. There's a lot of us. It's a lot of fun. These shows have been amazing. It's such a good time. Everyone's podcast is thriving. It's beautiful.
Here's what I'll say. Keep the good time rolling. I'll tell you, Secret Time.
More Secret Time?
If comedies do well in the theater, next summer, your lineup is got Shane Gillis. Is in the movie theater, Shane Gillis, Tim Dillon, Mark Norman, fucking Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, next,
Yeah.
like support you. If you go out and you spend your money to support live comedy, like we know our fans do,
Yeah.
support it in the theaters. Get our backs in the theaters to prove to the studios that our sense of humor is real and it translates.
Yeah, and if you enjoy comedies like I do, there's only one way. Like this is the roll of the dice. This is it. They're taking a chance now.
They're taking
and
a chance.
And if this scores, then the party keeps rolling.
But but you got to go to the movie theaters,
Yeah.
man. You got to
Yeah.
prove it in the movie theaters. And I know that's a selfish ask.
Why is it more important in the movie theaters than the amount of streams? Or
Because-
the amount of buying on Apple.
So the way a deal works, once again, I know I'll get in trouble for this. The way a deal
Well,
works.
don't say it if you're going to get in trouble. You
Nope,
know-
I don't care. I want my movie to do well. So
Okay.
the way a movie works is you get X amount of dollars, $20 million to make a movie. I think we spent $20 million, $30 million on the machine.
Okay.
So if it goes in the movie theaters, everyone gets to recoup their money. When you go to a streamer, they basically go, what did you pay? Cool. We'll break you even, and we'll give you a little extra, but you don't get the big bucks. That's coming to us. And so if this movie does well, everyone's got points on the back end. So every extra dollar you make, everyone that makes it starts making money. All these people that go, hey, we should put this and this and do this comedy and make it soft, they start realizing, shit, my money will make fucking murdering a dude and blood all over the place, like make fucking crazy comedies. That'll make me money. And then they'll start leaning into it. And then there's a bunch of people that'll go, let's go harder. Hey, Kurt Metzger, what's your idea?
All right.
And so like in the movie theaters, there's just more money to be made because it's a like Bruce Willis when he did Sixth Sense, he just took points. He didn't take any money. So he made like hundreds of millions of dollars on the points. So when these movies, and once you break your budget, once you break 30 million, all of a sudden all that money starts flowing into the studios and the networks, or the studios and the production companies, and they're like, fuck, let's do that again. And then we'll sell it to the streamer and we'll make our money back, and then we'll make and then some, and we're making more money. And the streamers are there. I was partying with our boy the other night. He was like, let's do great in the movie theaters, then come to us and do even better. Because people watch it on repeat, but it's got to do good in the movie theaters. Movies are dying. People aren't going out to movies. They're only going out for the Avengers. That's it right now. And so
We really are a Bill Hicks joke.
we really are a Bill Hicks joke. We've turned into Bill Hicks.
No, it seems like that would be it sounds like a Bill Hicks joke. The only movie people go see is the Avengers.
It's the truth.
It does.
And
Doesn't that sound like a Hicks joke?
and these fucking movies, if they do well in the theaters, and all of a sudden these dudes who are running these studios that have the access to the big pockets that go, I'm telling you right now, the machine does well. I can guarantee you two things. Mark my fucking words. Machine does well. Fat Astronauts get greenlit on Monday, and Tim Dillon's project gets greenlit on Tuesday. I can promise you that. Tim Dillon is the hottest fucking commodity in Hollywood right now.
If I started
Everyone loves him.
gambling on this, would this be insider trading?
It should be. Tim Dillon is the hottest commodity in Hollywood. Everyone fucking loves that guy, and they're afraid to say it out loud.
Ah, because he's problematic. He's a right winger.
Who knows what he's going to do? Who's not? You know,
Crazy gay right winger.
Everyone loves Tim Dillon. Shane Gillis. I was sitting in a tent in Serbia with Legendary watching fucking Gillian Keeves. We're crying laughing. That's your next movie star. Shane Gillis is the best actor out of all of us. Out of all of us, the best comedic actor around. You don't need to put him in an action comedy. You go, Shane Gillis, what do you want to do? His movie will be the biggest summer blockbuster of the fucking year. Mark my goddamn fucking words.
Whoa.
But they've got to trust that they can make their money back. And it's got to be made in the theaters.
I really don't like business talk, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I get their point too. It's
I do.
risky.
It's your money.
Superhero movies is the easiest,
Yeah.
right? They always win.
I mean, when we started podcasting, we were like, yeah, keep it small. Let's make our money back. And then guys like you started going, I see the guys like people like Spotify are like, I see the profit margin in this. Let's roll a dice. Now, granted, you're the same as me, a little bit chancy, say some fucked up shit every now and then. Who knows where we're going? You get a company like Spotify or a company like Netflix who stands behind what you say, and they go, we support free speech. You just got to let them know that because they do that because the money's coming in.
Right.
The studios haven't seen the money come in yet. The studios need to be convinced the same way Netflix and Spotify have been convinced that free speech and comics talking wild and doing wild shit is profitable, and that our fans right here will go out to the movie theaters, and then all of a sudden, I'm telling you, it's a game changer.
I bet it can happen. It really can. And in that sense, a lot of times, if people like it, but the critics hate it, if certain critics hate it, it actually is better because it makes people distrust critics even more, especially.
Oh, critics want to hate stuff.
They wanna hate
I haven't read one thing about The Machine at all. I won't.
I mean, there's critics that love certain films. I mean, but
they hated Ace Ventura. They hated
Really?
I
think they hate it more now?
Siskel and Ebert. They didn't hate it for the right reasons. They hated Ace Ventura. They trashed it.
Well, I mean, it wasn't the best movie in the world.
It was
if you go
pretty
back and
fucking-
watch it,
was
it's not
pretty
the best
fucking-
movie.
It
in
was
the
pretty
world.
fucking great.
It's okay. I mean, I don't know. It's hard watching old comedies. Like, you ever try to watch Porky's?
Yeah.
It's a big old rape fest. What the fuck?
But yeah, but then you look at Step Brothers. Step Brothers.
Is it? Is there? Should I leave that in? That Porky's is.
No, I mean I have a VHS tape of it airing on like public normal TV, like
Yeah.
NBC at late at night, and they have all the bad shit, in quotes, edited out.
Oh my god!
But it's just the nudity's edited out, so the rest of
That's
it's like
it?
holy shit. Yeah, it was in the
that's it?
90s. Yeah, it was from the 90s. It just
But
took out all
that
the
was a crazy movie, right? What,
yeah.
The
what
dude
happened
put
in that
his
movie?
dick in a hole
In the shower.
through the girls' locker room, like someone jacked me off.
Jesus.
and the teacher
Christ.
comes and grabs it.
Oh my god! That's
The
right.
teacher
So
grabs it.
molested.
Bro, what? Why was that okay then? Like, why were these movies okay?
I don't know.
But think
let
about how
Andrew,
much
let Andrew
culture-
Schultz make a movie, and I bet it's going to be like that. You give Andrew Schultz fucking $30 million, that movie's going to be fucking insane.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
That's the truth, man. We proved it in podcasting. We did.
Yeah.
We proved it on the internet. I mean, look at how many guys. Look at what you know what Gillian Keeves did offline, like when they released it to the fan base, said, "Hey, here, pay this." And then
Right.
did fucking bananas numbers, bananas.
I'm sure people
Shane
want.
Gillis is a gangster. People forget that he's a fucking businessman too. He is a gangster. I will get into the weeds about this all day
Okay.
long privately.
Privately. We'll talk later.
But like, they did great money, and then they're like, oh, cool, we get to make a cool thing, and our fans love it. That's all people got to know in Hollywood.
That's
Hollywood,
what Louis C.K.'s doing.
Yeah,
Perfect
dude,
example.
exactly.
Yeah, selling all of it on his website, putting all his movies there, his television show.
Bobby Kelly's special
Yeah.
did fantastic.
Yeah.
Joe List's movie did fantastic.
Yeah.
He's putting money out. Louis is Sony or Legendary. He's just doing it all in house and going like, I hire all the people. I got a line producer. Let's just make it. We'll sell it direct to consumer.
And it can just continue to grow. There's no ceiling on the potential for more people to find out about what he's doing online.
Louis?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's very interesting.
he's like you know, he's been good for comedy.
Yeah.
He's been good for comedy because
Well, he helped me a lot with the design of the place.
No.
Yeah. I took a couple pieces of advice from him. It's very good advice. In the smaller room, the stage was too large. He's like, why is the stage so big? I'm like, why is the stage so big? He goes, I think the stage should be about 4 feet shorter on each side. And I was like, we could do that. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, in the ceiling, can you make it lower? And I'm like, yeah, we can make it lower. It was already low.
It's
but
a
he
great
made it
fucking
even lower.
room.
How low is that ceiling? I mean,
It's pretty fucking low. It feels good.
Doesn't it feel you like intimate? It's boxed in with those folks.
It reminds you of the old school New York days where you could put your hand on the ceiling.
Yeah, those kind of clubs. So he had that. That was his suggestion there, to make the stage smaller in the little room and make the ceiling even lower. So we did that. And then in the next room, the ceiling, we lowered the ceiling. That was his other suggestion too. And then he had some good suggestions about soundproofing, because I think a lot of comedians, they like the sound of the echo because it makes laughs louder,
Yeah.
but it also makes it more difficult to people to understand what you're saying. It's harder because it's like echoey. Like at the Vulcan, it was a little echoey. It was great when you were killing, right? Because the laughs are so loud.
Yeah.
But some parts of the room, when you're getting like sound bouncing off of a bunch of shit, you miss subtle things. You miss certain things.
Yeah.
So he was like, you got to make sure that everything's like soft and the sound is like everything's soundproofed.
We did that when this last tour. We were doing arenas, and I upgraded my package to have like like a legit lighting package and legit sound brought in, and it changed those arenas. It's a game changer. Like this, I remember saying as the first person that did it, I go, "You're gonna fall in love with the sound of this. It's not just you set up an arena and it's whatever sound they have. It's like they do this whole presentation before to dial in the exact sound points, and it sounds like you're in a comedy club.
So is this worth it to you to do because you're doing so many shows? So it's easy. Just they come with you, they travel with you.
Yeah, I pay 1.7. No, I like this. I like the insides
Really?
of baseball. Yeah.
Okay.
Pay 1.7 for a lighting package and a team. And so it comes with like it's an all over budget, and you bring your own stage with you. I told Shane and Mark we did the arena in Tempe for the Super Bowl. We did 4 shows, and I said I paid extra to bring the sound package out. I wanted them to experience it. Shane Gillis was the person I told him. I said, you're going to, because he was nervous about doing arenas because he had done arenas and they sound echoey. I said, wait till you hear my sound package. Wait till you see my my lighting package, all of it. You're going to really love it because I paid extra for it. I want the show to feel, I want you to, if you're paying to see me in an arena, I want you to know that I am appreciative of that dollar and I'm going to put money back into the show. I'm not going to just do some cash grab. And
cut to Bert's doing a show by candlelight.
Louis said that.
I would like to do that.
And so,
do you know how dope that would be? Candlelight show.
That would be.
Trust the audience with candles.
Joe.
I
can see this.
Isn't it weird like that anybody could just buy a lighter? It's kind of crazy how few fires there really are. People are so stupid. I think about that all the time. I think about that how few car accidents there are. Like people are so goofy. It's kind of amazing that most days you
Look at
don't
this
see
lighting
fires.
package.
Wow, dude, that's pretty amazing.
Oh, you should see me walk out on stage, man.
Look at you.
I paid extra money so that my entrance has a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of razzle dazzle to it.
A little bit of razzle dazzle.
A little bit of razzle dazzle, and I think it pays off. I think as an audience member, you appreciate it
for sure.
And I think, but you're right. When the sound is so important,
sound's everything. So for this club, there's we made sure we just everything's.
My only note,
please.
If you're gonna have Joey Diaz's weed around, you got to take that clock off the little boy. I was on stage last night. I got high with you right before I went on stage on the Late Show. I never get high before I go on stage. I have, but I don't usually because I'm afraid of like.
Rightly so.
And I was riffing and fucking rolling, and I was like, nice. And I looked up, and the clock was at 4 minutes. And I went, I've only done 4 minutes.
How long did you think you were on for?
I thought I was on for 30 minutes.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, oh, we need to move that clock. And then I said, I kept messing around, and I looked, and it was 4 minutes and 40 seconds. And I was like, oh, God, someone needs to close the clock. And then
so you started freaking out thinking about it.
Because I was like, because you know how sometimes you get high, time goes a little slower.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, my God, I'm in my head. Mm-hmm. And then I knew Leanne was in the room. I knew I could, fuck with her if I needed to, and I could get myself out of anything.
Right.
And I was like, just enjoy this. Enjoy this. Let your brain think weird. Let your brain think weird and talk weird. And I saw the chick in the front row had a weird purse that the same person next to him had. And I went, oh, their phones are locked up. I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know. And I fucking started going and I had last night, my second show was one of the best shows I've had, well, definitely in 2023, without a doubt. And I would argue, other than when I did the other room, which was a fucking really a magic show. That was a fucking magic show. That might have been the best time I've ever had on stage last night. I fixed 2 jokes I've always wanted to tell. Always wanted to tell. Watching a dude get struck by lightning and beating any Asian in a foot race. I did both those jokes, and they worked. And I walked out, and I was like, God damn it, that room's special. I'm back Monday to do Tommy. We're doing 2 Bears, Monday and Tuesday. And I was in the shower, and I was like, I want to do Little Boy again. If they're open Monday, I want to do Little Boy. That was a fun fucking room.
It's a fun fucking room. Monday is an open mic night. Yeah, we can figure out anything. But there's a weird vibe of the place. The place has a vibe. Because there's so many like-minded people that are in there that are just sort of really just trying to get better at comedy, and there's so many of them that just the place. It's like there's a vibe in the building, and the audience is so appreciative. They're real comedy fans.
Oh, dude, the guy last night.
It's incredible.
I said I'm back Monday, and this dude just goes, "Texas loves you, Bert," and you're like, "Oh man, that's like what you want to hear in life." Why wouldn't you want to hear that?
Why wouldn't you want to hear that?
Yeah.
Texas loves you, Bert. Let's wrap this bitch up.
I love
The
you,
Machine.
buddy.
I love you too. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know it's going to be the #1 movie in America, or we're all communists.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Literally. Okay. Anything else?
That's
BertBert.com, or is it BertKreischer.com?
BertBert.com. Buy tickets to go see The Machine this weekend.
Go
I love
buy.
you with all my heart.
Go see it. Bye, everybody.